show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and what you want to say to 82945. It's online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app, available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. Or we're on Facebook, facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning.
We've got tickets to Clutch we're going to give away. Clutch is going to be at the Canes Ballroom on August 19th. Tickets available at canesballroom.com. We've got listener emails. You need help? Sorry. Would you like our unprofessional advice? We all need help. We're going to give it at 8. You can always send your need for our unprofessional advice to show at KMOD.com. We've also got to tell the truth. It's your chance to get to know the show better. All you need to do is get a question to us a little bit later. Did you see the news story that they arrested this former priest for an abduction and murder of a girl from back in the day? And he's like 85 now. He killed an 8-year-old girl back in 1975 on her way to Bible camp.
Oh, damn. Isn't there a statute of limitations?
I don't think on murder.
You don't
Yeah.
think so? I don't know how that works.
Not on
out.
murder.
Okay.
No, not on murder.
Okay.
This happened in Pennsylvania. He admitted to abducting and killing her while she was on her way to Bible camp. He's now 83. He apparently pulled up alongside her in his green station wagon. That's a functionable car, by the way.
Absolutely. Get your groceries, abduct small children,
Murder them.
Murder them in the back seat next to your groceries.
I mean, I don't know about the latter part you're referring to, but as a person who has to haul kids around and stuff, and it feels like a really functionable.
It is. And
I must be older because I also think a minivan's a great idea.
you don't see station wagons anymore. Not like you used to. Not the old grocery getters that we had in the 70s
Minivan
and
killed
80s.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even then, I don't see a lot of minivans around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there are, right? Mostly SUVs, Tahoes and stuff like that. But the Dodge Grand Caravan, I learned to drive in a green. It was forest green with the wood panel on the side.
Sure.
Dodge Caravan.
Yeah.
We weren't fancy enough for the Grand Caravan, but we had the old green regular Caravan.
Minivans are still a thing. There's I forget the name of it, but he's an ex-UFC fighter and he drives a minivan and he's got like a social media page where people like road rage him because he's driving a minivan, and then he gets out and they're like, oh
Hey.
My bad.
cauliflowered eared fire hydrant.
Right.
I learned on a Chrysler Town and Country
Sure.
minivan.
Yeah, that's fancy.
That was driver's ed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Ours was like a 77, maybe early 80s Crown Vic, long ass boat of a car.
Yeah, Grand Prix was what our driver's ed course had.
With the old pedals on the other side, so the teacher could be like, "Stop!"
Yeah.
That's an interesting. We're getting way away from this, but the fact that they were like, "We've got to spend the money. I cannot be in a car because you're not going fast
Really?
on a driver's ed course."
Oh yeah, we were highway driving. We were cruising town.
Okay, highway driving, I'm
Yeah.
with you. But a
Yeah.
driver's ed course, which
Right.
was for us was a closed, almost like a parking lot that had been transformed into like 8 streets.
Wow, our
Wow.
driver's ed coach. Oh goddamn, what was his last name? I forget, but he was
Coach
one of the
Works.
coaches. He was one of the coaches. I know that.
Sure.
And he let us just drive around town. He let us go to the Sonic and get some food or drinks. He said, go anywhere you want. You're going to have to learn sometime.
Yeah.
So he'd let us get out on the highway. And this is Tonkawa, Oklahoma, small town, right? So he'd let us get out on the highway doing 55, 60. And these are kids with their permit.
We had simulators too in the driver's ed class, and
Wow.
it was like a movie projector.
Mhm.
Had no like what you did only reflected on the apparatus you were on. It
Right.
didn't show up on the screen. And these were pretty old.
Mhm.
So I was in 1990, I was in high school.
Okay.
1991 would have been driver's ed, somewhere in there, right? And these were like 70, so they barely worked.
Mhm.
And people would drive these simulators and just park them like in the middle of the thing. Lights, bzz, some of them would buzz, most of them wouldn't. You look back, Coach Ingleby.
Right.
I'm not making that up. Like, he did not care at all. But
No.
station wagons, I feel like I would get a station wagon.
There is one for sale. It's on the way to Coweta, this tiny little private car lot. And I passed by it, and it's just this red, looks like maybe early 80s, late 70s station wagon. They want like 65 for it. And I was like, dude, that's almost worth it.
Oh, I want a new one. I don't want an old one.
No.
Do they have new station
I don't
wagons?
know.
I don't think they do.
I don't know. But you could put everybody in there with room and all your luggage
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And a Christmas tree on top.
and roll the window down should you need to. And your aunt, if you're in the certain movie.
Yeah.
Right, right. Don't tie the dog to the bumper.
Yeah. Little Philip must have kept up for about a month. Anyway, back to this monster. The pastor told investigators that he then took the girl to a selected spot where he told her to take off her clothes, and then he beat her to death when she refused. The pastor, who was known to the family, said he drove back to church after the killing.
And just went on about his business.
Yep.
Mm.
This little girl trusted him.
Yeah.
Her skeletal remains were discovered weeks later, more than 7 miles from her home. They interviewed a woman in January who claimed to be best friends with the woman's daughter. She alleged that he groped her during a sleepover at his home when she was 10 years old.
Oh.
Listen, all you pastors out there, I'm just telling you now, no.
Right.
My kid ain't doing a sleepover. How does that make sense at all?
Doesn't.
What's
This is a
your
different
pastor,
time.
man?
I don't.
Yeah, it's your pastor. You're supposed to trust them. They're supposed to be good, God-fearing people that would never, ever harm anybody.
Hells no.
Mm. Catholics.
Christians.
Priests. Yes.
Anyway,
I'm just saying.
it's a big audience, man.
Yeah. Come on. There's plenty of stories out there.
Oy. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepover at 10 at an adult's house, like with an adult.
Well, I mean, did he have other children?
Right.
That would make sense if he had kids, and it's like, hey, why don't your kids come stay with my kids? Da 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 da. I
Right,
get
they're
that.
friends.
Yeah, I get that. Now, if it's just regular old Pastor Bob that doesn't have any kids, and he's like, I would like all of God's children to come stay at my house tonight.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it reads
Yeah,
like.
that's a no for me,
Right.
dog. That's a no for me.
Got a great big batch of Jesus juice at
Oh,
the house.
God. Oh, God.
Yeah,
It's a weird name for it.
it is.
Have you watched the Dugar thing on?
Oh, yeah.
It's
So
terrifying.
disturbing. Yeah.
It's terrifying how you see it happening today
Mhm.
in normal culture. What happened? What that family's done.
Right.
It's the idea. And the part that sucks about this is not every group that is religious or people associated with it are like that.
No, right.
No, but you get so many stories out there because of it from all religions, not just any particular ones that wear black suits with white collars, but all of them. And They're like, now you can't trust any of them. And that's why we have these ministers and these pastors to, give us faith and hope in life and teach positive lessons and let us know that there's a good afterlife and blah, 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 blah. But when you start raping and murdering our children, how can you trust any of them?
I mean, it's like sharks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sharks,
Yeah.
it's Shark Week right now on Discovery Channel or whatever. And sharks get a bad rap.
Right?
Cows kill more people than sharks do.
Right. Do we have Cow Week?
No, who would watch? It's slow. They're just like this. They're just like. This week on Cow Week.
Right.
Bessie goes to the butcher.
Mama June hosts Cow
Oh,
Week.
God, that would be perfect.
Tonight on Discovery.
Maybe they should. Shark Week has ran its course, man. It's been going
No
on.
way.
How long has that been going on? At least a decade that I can
Oh,
think
yeah.
of. At least. So
It is.
let's
No.
all right. Well, let's be equal opportunists here and give every animal, a shot. A week. How many weeks are there in a year? Like 52?
Mhm.
That's like, 52 different animals.
It does feel like Shark Week is more than once a year.
Right. At least 12 times.
They're doing Shark Week, Great White Fight Club. And you know what the first rule about Great White Fight Club is, right?
Yeah.
Jaws versus the Meg.
Okay.
Brilliant, right?
Yep.
Cocaine sharks.
Oh God.
I have heard about that. I was on the TikTok and I'm like, no, because it was some news story about how the sharks in Florida are nibbling on the packages of cocaine that the smugglers are dumping in there. And it's like, oh no, like that's real.
The creativity of Shark Week is amazing, right? Cocaine bear, cocaine sharks, brilliant,
Mm-hmm.
right? Jaws versus the Meg, topical, right?
Mhm.
The Meg, people love talking about that. Great White Fight Club, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Air Jaws, Final Frontier. Jaws in the Shallows, Tropic Jaws.
God.
Monster Mako, Fresh Blood. Dawn of the Monster Mako or Mako. There was another one that was really good that I saw. Mother Hammerhead's Killer Instinct.
All right.
Hammerhead's Killer Instinct on Shark Week. Yeah. Brilliant. Shark Week's brilliant.
Cow Week. I'm writing A&E. Discovery, whoever's in charge of that. I'm writing a letter.
Vending Machine Week on Discovery.
Right? Something besides sharks. Snake Week would be all right.
Lions.
Lion Week would be all right. It doesn't have to be cows, although I think, Cow Week would be
Got
fine.
it. Mosquito Week on Discovery.
Oh my God. Yes.
More mosquitoes kill people than sharks.
Right?
Okay.
But sharks get an entire week and real catchy names for their shows.
Pufferfish Week. This one would be hard because you'd have to get a voice guy that can really handle the monstrosity of this word. And it just doesn't flow. Like Shark Week is short. It's like shark, right? 2 syllables, 2 to 3 syllables is ideal when you're naming something, right? So Hippopotamus Week on Discovery.
This week, Hippo Week.
Yeah.
When hippopotamuses toot.
Oh my God, I just sit there and watch it all day.
Oh, right?
Hippo farts are the greatest thing ever.
They really are.
The little tail just gets to wagging away.
Yes, messy.
Yeah.
Messy. You ever seen a hippopotamus fart
No.
or toot? Oh, girl, you missing out.
I bet. Sounds like it.
Just Google it up real quick. Watch the YouTube video.
You-
It's like maybe 15 seconds. You'll love it.
Yeah. You think I'm kidding?
Right. You think it's going to take off.
And just shrapnel everywhere.
Right. I would not want to stand in a 10 feet radius of that when that's going on. No. Like a damn Gallagher show.
Yeah. Scorpions Week on Discovery.
See, that's okay. That's okay. If it has to be a predator because sharks are predators,
Mhm.
then okay. Let's go with Bear Week. Hey, like Kodiak or something like Grizzly Week on Discovery. That would be fine. Even jellyfish. I don't know.
Nah,
Eh,
it doesn't
flopping
feel
around.
it doesn't feel the same.
Right.
It has like pufferfish, though they are dangerous.
Mhm.
I think it has to be something a little more like titillating.
Right. Black Panther Week on Discovery
Yeah,
Channel.
Cat week.
Right.
Cat week.
Cat week.
Cat
When they have
week.
all the cat
No.
videos, everyone loves cat videos.
I think the suicide rate will skyrocket.
Right. Their ratings plummet because people are like, I got something to do outside.
Isn't that what like Instagram and TikTok mostly is anyway? Just cat
Cat
videos.
Yep.
yeah.
Anyway, this priest, horrible human being.
Yeah.
Station
Murdering
wagon,
children.
bring him back.
Right.
Stick him in Shark Week.
Just let him feed him.
Yes.
And Jason Momoa is, who I have a weird man crush on, is the host this week.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Tickets to Clutch. You said it weird. He was like, nothing wrong with that. You were like, yeah. Tickets to Clutch and Giovanni and the Hired Guns, August 19th at the Canes. Tickets available at canesballroom.com. We'll give some of those away coming up.
Tulsa's morning show, the Big Man.
Yeah.
That judges how much you need to craft
course.
for this. Okay.
Yeah. What I said was the average.
Right. I was just thinking they look at a family of 6 and they're like, all right, well, you guys eat X amount a week. So therefore you should be producing X amount of excrement a week. So your quota is X. But I didn't know how it worked out. I guess it's just like you got 6 people. You can make this much poop.
Yeah. You should be able to make this much poop.
Should be able to.
And if not, see your doctor.
The idea that would be a stress in your life.
Yes. What does stress do?
Right.
Stress
binds you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
Would you rather, Gimpy, pay taxes or have to collect poop? Your family's poop.
Pay taxes.
Amen.
Pay taxes, man. I am
Lindsay?
not. Oh.
I think I'd rather collect poop and use it for fertilizer than pay taxes.
You say that the first day.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
You may even say that the second day. But when you're on, let's just say month 6 of collecting your family's excrement.
Oh, I think it's worse than that. The first day the first month, you're not going to meet the quota.
Right. Oh my God. Oh, we can't go too far into this, but things are different for everybody.
Yeah,
and
everybody's
people
movements are different.
Everybody has different kinds. So let's just say you've got a bad flu one week. Flu will put you down for 4 days.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing solid about a flu.
Or how about this? You're on an antibiotic.
But you
Right.
can't use that, right? Like it would have to be solid.
Listen, I didn't go deep into this. Sorry.
Right.
I didn't go to the ins and outs of every household and how many people and what antibiotics you were on and what did that have to do with it.
Yeah.
To me, the headline is enough.
Yeah. I'm assuming they just want the solid stuff. And I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, they
like
want a
Gimpy,
good turd.
You clean up after your ferrets. I clean the cat's litter box. I mean, it's not too much different.
It's completely different. One, you're trained by the animal. The other is
Right. We're trained by our parents to
Yeah.
do it in a receptacle.
Someone text in, put a colander over the toilet bowl.
dude.
I'm not
Problem solved.
pooping in the same thing that I strain my spaghetti noodles
No,
in.
you buy 2.
Yeah, but
one
you
for
got
your
a
noodles,
clean one,
for your
Lindsay. You
bathroom.
got a clean
Oh,
one.
God, and then
Sure.
you get them mixed up because, they're
You-
both silver.
One's plastic.
No, plastic absorbs smells.
Gross.
Use that one for your
Yeah,
pasta.
we're getting off. We're getting too far.
Gross. Come on, man.
220 pounds. 220 pounds.
A month. Or is that a year?
A year.
A year.
A
Okay.
year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of fertilizer.
I get a bag of salt, and it's like 40-pound bag, right, for the soft water softener,
Mhm.
and so like 5 of the. That's a lot. I get it out of the trunk of the car, and I'm like, but to do that with my own feces. Sorry, family's feces is a whole other ball of wax. Amen, right?
Yeah.
When you think about the things that people go through in other countries, I'm like, can you imagine if somebody ran for office and they were like, hey, we're going to put down the national debt by harvesting our own fees. Listen to the math. There's this many number of us. We can sell it at this much. We'll have this debt wiped out in no time and have a surplus. You'll be sent a bag.
Right, a government bag. That is not the best bag ever. It kind of leaks every now and again.
Y'all couldn't wear a mask.
For real. You want me to crap in a bag every day? Ship it off.
Think about that.
We
We couldn't get everybody on the same page.
Hey,
with the mask.
Hey, did you crap in your bag today, sir?
Look at that beta crapping in a bag.
Oh my goodness gracious. No, there's other options, man. There's other options. There are plenty of animals on this planet that we could be harvesting. Hey, we do harvest their dookie for fertilizer.
Yeah.
Why do we got to use our own? Is ours as the human?
Yeah.
Is the human sample that much superior?
I can give you an actual reason why.
Why is that?
Box checked. We need more.
There's not enough crap in this world, which is crap in itself. There's more crap in this world
Yeah.
than we need.
Yeah. Most people don't know this. There is a whole subgenre of studying the human feces.
Right.
And to the point where they do fecal transplants
Right.
to make people healthy.
That was somebody's idea. That was like, guys, that was a meeting. That was a table,
Yeah.
a long rectangular table, probably had lunch catered in. Okay. And I've got an
Do
idea.
the people that study fecal do lunch meetings? No.
Probably not.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
And that office gives a whole new meaning to brown bag lunch. Hey, it's brown bag lunch meeting.
It's brown bag every day.
Brown bag. To me, yeah. Whew. I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Someone was like, Dad,
Yes,
I
son.
don't want to study engineering anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, what were you thinking about getting into for the rest of your life?
I know that it
is
is
very important.
I know that it is a family thing to be into engineering, but I've got to change it. I've got to chase my own dreams. I don't want your life.
I get that, son. I get it. I was an engineer. Your grandpa was an engineer. His dad and grandpa were engineers. I mean, it just seems to fit, but I'm curious, what do you want to do? Let me help you.
Poopy scoop.
Excuse me?
Whoop de scoop de poop.
Did you just say poop?
Scoop de whoop.
And what are you going to do with this poop?
Poop de scoop de whoop.
You're going to scoop it.
Whoopy de scoop whoop poop.
You sure you don't want to be an engineer?
Poop.
Sure we can guide you into some other field.
Whoop de scoop poop.
You could be a gynecologist if you want.
Poop.
Proctologist, it's close.
Poop.
If that's just what you want to do with your life, I mean, okay, good. I support you 100%.
Poop.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Somebody's like, I'm going to be the best poop expert ever.
Yes, absolutely.
How was work today, honey?
Poop.
It was the S.
Do not. Because I don't know about you guys, but my wife has friends that she works with, and we go to dinners with them or whatever, and they talk about work. And I always set a little thing on my watch, and about 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay.
Like trying to get out of the conversation
No,
or change the conversation?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay,
We're not talking about work anymore.
Yeah. I get that.
Do not bring it up at all if your husband or wife does poop research.
No.
Not a fun dinner.
No, because that's where everybody
Topic.
gathers around the table and talks about their day and how it was. And yeah, you can't do that if you're a poop expert.
Lindsay, do you have Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news, but we cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more. Facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Doctors discover 88-year-old woman's missing dentures during endoscopy. So this happened in Texas when an elderly woman went to the hospital thinking she misplaced her dentures, only to learn that she actually swallowed them during dinner and they were stuck in her tummy. Her grandson actually took her to the hospital. She suffers from dementia, so they assumed she swallowed them without trouble because she didn't realize that she did it.
Impressive.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. To swallow her bottom dentures and not even know it. Images from the internal camera were clearly showing the dentures resting inside of her stomach. A scan of her torso also showed the arc of the dentures standing out starkly against her skeletal structure. Doctors inserted long forceps down the woman's throat, and after several attempts, they were able to extract the dentures. The procedure lasted about 2 hours. The doctors say that foreign body ingestion is an under-recognized hazard in adults, especially in the elderly, where it may lead to significant morbidity and even mortality. Experts at the hospital wrote in a study about the incident. The study noted that the woman's dementia likely contributed to her being able to swallow the dentures without experiencing or recalling any pain. Dentures are actually one of the most commonly ingested items in adults.
What?
No.
Others include
Denture Week on
bones.
Discovery.
Yeah, right. Bones, like chicken and fish bones and jewelry.
Well, it says bones, comma, chicken or fish, comma, and jewelry. So that feels like separate.
Mhm.
Right.
Bones as well as chicken or fish.
Right.
I'm assuming, though, that they mean but they're bones.
But they say jewelry right out.
yeah.
So like bone jewelry?
It's maybe
Weird.
maybe some weird voodoo stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't understand how you
Yeah.
would, unless, because when we hear dentures, we're thinking full sets, right? A partial is even considered a denture. So
Dude, the picture of it in her esophagus?
that's the full.
That's a full
It's a full
bottom.
set. Yeah,
So
yeah.
how the hell
Yeah.
should you do that without choking to death? I mean,
Dementia is crazy.
dementia does not
Right,
keep your
He's
throat.
talking biology.
Yeah.
For sure.
I understand like how she did it without knowing or remembering anything, but how she physically do it without choking to
Yeah.
death. I mean,
I've seen some videos where I'm surprised some people haven't choked to death.
Right?
right. I've seen somewhere they have choked to death. Man arrested with exposed genitals near horses again. This comes out of Illinois, where cops were called out to this farm because the owners had caught some suspicious person on surveillance footage near the horse barn. So the cops come out, and this is like 1 o'clock in the morning when they get out there. And they're searching, they're canvassing the area, and they see out in the pasture a 39-year-old dude named Jack Blanky standing next to 2 horses with his wiener hanging out. They went ahead and arrested him without any issues at all whatsoever. I'm hoping that they put the wiener back before they arrested him, but I don't know, it wasn't there. They went ahead and took him in for criminal trespass. He was arrested just in April of this year on charges of sexual contact with an animal.
My God.
Keep in mind that this is one of the things I love is when this story gets brought up is bestiality is legal in some states in America
Yeah.
still.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not on our to-do list.
Right.
Volunteer falls out of hot air balloon.
Uh-oh.
It's happening in Connecticut. It was a laser balloon glow show festival thing that happened. And the volunteer was helping people in and out of baskets. And the basket went up and he grabbed on. And he didn't let go until it was damn near 20 feet in the air. He fell, got injured. One of the witnesses was stating that it was such a cool thing and the lights and And then we saw an ambulance and we couldn't understand what was happening. What had happened? This was such an awesome event. Oh, some Yoko just grabbed onto the side of let go.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. As your feet, the ground keeps getting further and further away. I mean, what sense does it make to hold on? You think they're going to pull you into the basket?
I think the only thing that can happen is that when you're holding on, because he was older, is that he was holding on and he was like, I don't want to get hurt. And then,
it's too late.
It's the you know what I'm saying? Like he was like, oh, I'm kind of high.
Right. I think the moment that my feet leave the ground, 2 inches, I'm done. Let go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you, and I don't disagree with you, but the body has a weird way to protect itself. And so if you look down and you can't compute it fast enough, you might be like, hold on.
Right.
Or maybe he thought someone was getting out and he's trying to, like when you see people hold cars.
Oh, right. Like they can really keep it from going.
That or luggage at the baggage claim. Yeah, good luck. I always love when usually it's tiny women or elderly women trying to grab the most overweight suitcase. And they're just knocking people over. I want to be like, it goes around.
Yes.
It'll be back. Don't
worry. We had a lab that pulled me, and my dad's yelling at me, let go of the leash, as he's dragging me on the ground.
Well, that's different than luggage.
I know, but like the point is let go. And I didn't, because I didn't want to lose the dog.
I always love watching. And again, some guys do it, but I feel like I mostly see women do it because they think it's protection when they're going for jogs and they have a dog tied to their waist.
Oh, good God.
I'm like, you are not holding that dog.
No.
That dog is going to pull you to the ground.
And into traffic, and then you get run over, and it's more of a thing than what it needs to
It
be.
may not take off, like run for the hills, but it's going to pull you to the ground because you lose your footing.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. We got to take a break. All these stories are on our Facebook page at facebook.com/BMMS69.
More of the
Lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are 2 ways to pick up women, in my opinion. A dog in a park. Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Sure.
I hope so.
Offer to pick up your friend's kids at school where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it. All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self. All right? Go find somebody and ask them if they got a big schlonger. And if the answer's yes, then okay, well, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself, but then there you got your answer. But I don't know. I have never searched for a guy with a huge schlong. I have no desire to search for a guy with a huge schlong. Now I'm out. I have no advice for you.
If you asked me where to find information on molecular science, I wouldn't be able to help you. Nor am I a resource for this. I'm just making an assumption. You might be focusing on the wrong thing.
Eyes up here, lady.
Yeah.
Right? If your objective's just to get that, go to the bar and ask guys.
Absolutely.
They will gladly tell you. And be ready to call them out on it. Because every guy is going to say they're a horse. That the Jolly Green Giant ain't got nothing on them.
When I had first pierced mine way back when I was in high school, you're proud of it. And I was talking to this gal, Amber, I think is what her name was. And I was telling her about it. Oh, yeah, penis is pierced, did it myself, blah, blah, blah. Now let's sit. Okay. So I had no choice but to present myself to her. Oh, it just goes to prove his point. You're going to have to be prepared for them to, whip it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're going to have to be very assertive. Did you end up sleeping with her?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Why you say that?
I asked for the dessert tray. I'm getting dessert.
Not if it's ugly.
I don't know anything about that.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a
What?
headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See,
Mhm.
that was
was a good headline.
You told me you
Kill
just
and
pointed out a missed opportunity, and I was like, well, I got one too. So I just
Yeah.
changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days. All right. Well, for a couple of days, because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay. So they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused her daughter, who is 44 years old, Candace Craig, of credit card fraud. So that led to an argument betwixt Margaret and Candace, which led to Margaret's death. Okay. So flash forward a little bit. They say that the 19-year-old daughter of Candace, a woman named Celia Hardy, found the body of Margaret in a plastic bin and then decided to help dismember and dispose of the body. They believe that the 2 women used a chainsaw to cut Granny's body up and then threw the body parts on a grill and a bonfire in attempts to burn and destroy the body parts. Either way, they searched the house. They say that the remains were so badly decomposed that you can't do a physical identification of the body. So they're hoping, and they're 98% sure that DNA testing is going to come back and say, yeah, this is definitely Margaret. Nonetheless, both women were arrested. Candace is being popped for murder, and then Celia has been arrested and being charged with accessory after the fact.
It's one thing to kill somebody, I think.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a completely other to dismember them,
Yeah.
and another for it to be Meemaw.
Right. The human body contains a lot of blood, like more than I want to see at one point in time. So I feel as soon as you start hacking away with a chainsaw, that's just going to be a bloody mess everywhere.
It's like putting together a swing set in your backyard. You're like, I can do this. And then you get in, you're like, I'm going to need some help.
Right. So you call your kids to come help you put the swing set together.
Yeah. If you've ever put together a swing set in the last 5 years, it shows up and you're like, okay, yeah, I could do this. And then on day 2, you're like, we'll put that on later.
Right. Kids don't need a swing, do they?
Yeah.
Nah.
I think the monkey bar sat in my garage for a good year.
They're not going to be able to reach up there and grab it anyway.
Right, exactly. Do you think Mima was a bad person, abusive, maybe?
Are you justifying
have
it?
to be?
Are you implying that if she was, then she probably should be dismembered?
No. But would she have to be for it to be like,
You brought it up.
okay?
You brought it up. You tell me.
Well, I look at Dexter, like the show Dexter. It was like he was almost like the good bad guy because he was taking out bad people.
No, Dexter was a horrible person.
Oh, see, I looked at him as a good bad guy. He was taking out bad people.
Like a Robin Hood sort of thing. That instead of
Yes.
robbing the rich and giving to the poor, we're just killing bad people.
Uh-huh.
Jack the Ripper is another one, killing the whores of the world.
Yes.
If you think that's
If-
bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dexter was not a good person.
I thought so. I thought he was good.
But he was hurting people. He was killing people for minor things, not huge infractions.
Some
You
of them.
bumped into me at the grocery
No,
store.
Yeah.
no,
Some of them,
No.
sure, but not all of them.
no, he wasn't doing it for bumping into me
How
at the grocery
dare you
store.
take the last bagel at work?
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mhm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the three basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid.
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
Right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together, it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years,
Okay.
right?
Alrighty then.
Ooh.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
I was gonna
Wheel
say-
of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Chiffres et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah,
Wow.
is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
He old.
Mhm.
he like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. Well, it was a different time then.
Right. It'll change his empathy towards humans.
All right.
60 years is a long time, though,
Yeah.
for a
Mhm.
game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that people are going because of the name. People were watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up. Everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Mhm.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on
Okay.
Price is Right because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel,
Mhm.
earn points.
It's
Now,
the
how
same
they
game.
derive the letters and things like that, or on Jeopardy, can obviously change.
Mhm.
But overall, it's the same game.
Yeah. There's no need to change it.
Tic-tac-toe, celebrity whatever, doesn't last because you get annoyed. You get
Mhm.
annoyed with just because you're famous doesn't mean you're awesome. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Well, breaking sports news that apparently about an hour ago, the New York Giants and Saquon Barkley agreed to a new one-year deal. That's going to be worth $11 million.
Damn. For a year?
And he gets a $2 million signing bonus.
That's still, though, that's not too much, is it? I mean, that's not a lot for
No.
his position.
Oh, good for you.
I mean, it's a lot.
It's more than what they've been paying.
I think so. Like, what you think you're worth and what you get paid are hardly the same
Mhm.
thing
Oh,
in any
absolutely.
career.
Yeah.
Right. So, is it a lot? I think $11 million is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's more than he was making.
Yeah.
And $2 million just to sign?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's a lot.
He signed his previous contract was 4 years, $31 million. He got a $20 million signing bonus.
God damn, man. God damn.
So if you compared to that, right,
Mm.
it is less
Yeah.
because of his signing bonus.
Uh-huh.
Still a good chunk of change.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We all signed contracts. Did any of us get a $2 million sign-on bonus? Hell no. Not that I know of anyway. I didn't.
No, I was laughing because they were like, here's the store to buy your company gear. I was like, get out of here.
Right. Right. Here's a free hat. Welcome aboard.
Right.
Meanwhile, these guys are saying, here's $2 million.
But
Come on.
But I think they're entitled to do that because of the amount of money that is garnered from their performance.
Because of it. I get it. I get it.
Right? The amount of money that teams make. It's worth asking for.
It's just sickening as an average person, just trying to make it. You hear these guys getting $11 million for 1 year's worth of work and a $2 million on top of that just for signing their name at the bottom of a piece of paper. It's just like, good.
Well, that's just a way to shuffle money around.
Okay.
Right? Because they're only allowed to spend so much money.
But still, millions.
Yes,
Millions.
but again, you have to think about what he does to garner wins and the percentage of return, like what he brings to the table, right? We're not talking about Bob's Drywall,
right?
And you go and install drywall, and they make $1 million a year installing drywall. Yeah, you would never make millions of dollars doing that. You would be insane to even ask for that.
Right.
So to me, that's what I look at is the percentage of what they garner as a business and what you get paid.
Right.
11 million's a lot. You should be thankful.
Absolutely.
But year over year, shouldn't you make more money?
Yes.
Sure. Absolutely. You should always
Everyone
make more. Absolutely. Everybody should make more than they did the previous year. I agree with you that 100%. I just think that these professional athletes, and I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. They're bringing in a lot of money. These organizations are making a lot of money, but that's a ridiculous amount of money for, one person for their job, their job.
But what they put their bodies through.
Okay.
The Giants made $584 million last year.
That's a lot of cash.
And he got not $7 million.
Which isn't much out of the Giants organization. Absolutely, it's not.
But one of the guys who people went to go see.
Yeah.
Right.
He was one of the draws.
Right. Well, but still, man, Lindsay's like, think about what they're putting their bodies through. Well, tell that to the guy that's working on the railroad or the construction workers that's out there,
But that's not fair, right? Like nobody's trying to diminish what those people do.
Right. I feel that maybe those athletes and these actors don't need that much money. And maybe you could trickle it down to some of the people that actually do so we can all survive and thrive and be happy. But instead, you've got these people out here that go out and play games. They go out and pretend that they're somebody else. Actors, okay? And they're getting ridiculous amounts of money. And you've got two different edges, right? You got the super rich athletes and actors. And then you got the regular Joe down here who's just looking up saying, please, sir, can I have some more?
I'm actually kind of shocked to hear it's not a stance I expected you to take to want somebody to pass their hard work or their money off to someone else.
I think that when you have an ungodly amount of money like that, there's nothing wrong with that. Regular Joes, you, me, Lindsay, the guy that's down here, mowing the grass or whatever. Yeah, I would not expect them to take their money that they've worked their asses off and pass it down to somebody else because we're barely scraping by as it is. But you've got these mega millionaires who, yeah, sure, they train during the week. They go to their practice. They play once a week.
Yeah, but you're diminishing what they do.
Yeah, I am actually.
You're
a craft. Absolutely, it's a craft.
No, but you're saying they sit. You're saying they sit around, and they're not sacrificing, and they're not putting themselves through torture or any of those things. You said they play once a week. Yeah. You said they're working once a week.
Absolutely. I also said they're training all week long and they're going to practice. And I get that. I totally get that. But it's a game. It's a game we play.
It's entertainment.
It's a game that we played. Yes, it is entertainment. It's a game that we played in school. It's a game that we played as kids. And it's a game that they made, and I'm good for them. They made a professional career out of it. But when you look at the world as a whole and a majority of them suffering, and you've got this nice little 10% elite up here that's making ungodly amounts of money, it's just sickening, man. It's all it is. It's just sickening.
All right. And that's your Balls of the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 96 calories. More of the Big Man Morning Show is next.
Let's rock. More of the Big Man Morning Show is next. 97.5 KMOD. KMOD Total Traffic Network.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Don't miss store-wide savings during the truckload event at Lowe's. Right now, save on major appliances and get an additional 10% off in-store clearance appliances. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/9. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowes.com for details.
A construction reminder that the northbound 169 ramp to westbound 244 is narrowed down to one lane through March. I'm Steve Scott. Follow us on Twitter at Total Traffic TUL.
97.5 KMOD.
Hey, it's Gimpy with the Big Man Morning Show for Truehold. You had a solid retirement dream, didn't you? You know, sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, travel. Sounds great, right? But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you can recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. See, Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Tulsa will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 918-488-0000. That's 918-488-0000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Gimpy with the Big Man Morning Show. This is reason number 635 why I love Cox. See, life moves so fast, and Cox offers you speed that's reliable with its fastest internet yet. See, Cox multi-gig speeds are here, and they're powered by fiber for peak performance on all of your connected devices with limited availability in select areas. From multiplayer gaming like myself to efficient remote work, Cox moves at the speed of your life, and Cox internet won't leave you waiting like 5G home internet can. Learn more at Cox.com.
I can't wait for what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
From the Supermercado Morelos Studios, Tulsa's #1 morning show is on KMOD FM Tulsa. The Big Man Morning Show. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your radio, music, and podcasts. Tulsa's rock station, 97.5 KMOD.
You let me violate you. You let me desecrate you. You let me penetrate you. You let me complicate you. Help me. I broke apart my insides. Help me. I've got no soul to tell. Help me. The only thing that works for me. Help me get away from myself. I wanna you like an animal. I wanna feel you from the inside. I wanna you like an animal. My whole existence is flawed. You get me closer to God. You can't have my isolation. You can't have the hate that it brings. You can't have my absence of faith. You can have my everything. Help me tear down my reason. Help me to sex I can smell. Help me, you make me perfect. Help me become somebody else. I wanna you like an animal. I wanna feel you from the inside. I wanna you like an animal. My whole existence is flawed. You get me closer to God.
Resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I can't. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition, and I can't accept that I've lost,
Right.
or I can't accept that I've won, or whatever. And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. So Disturbed and Breaking Benjamin will be in town this Saturday, July 29th at the Walmart Amphitheater. You can sign up to win your tickets at KMOD.com. Good luck.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. You'll have your chance to win $1,000 at 9 o'clock as we rock the bank. You can get the details at KMOD.com.
Something a little different. I'm going to call it dead ass or fake news. I will read you something. You will tell me dead ass, the truth,
Okay.
or fake news, not the truth.
Okay.
All right. Brunettes are more likely than anyone else to become addicted to nicotine. Dead ass or fake news?
Ooh, I'm going to say dead ass.
Okay. Dead ass. That's right. The high levels of pigment in brown hair also make it difficult for the liver to metabolize the nicotine, which keeps it in the system longer and makes it easier to become addicted to.
Interesting.
Who'd have thought?
More than half the people in the world have never made or received a phone call, Gimpy. Dead ass or fake news?
More than half the people in the world have never made or received a phone call. I'm going to say that's dead ass, because we think of the civilized world. You got to think about the third world countries where they don't have telephones, or maybe there's one on a pole that's like 40 miles away from their hut.
Ooh, good.
Dead ass. World population is 7.4 billion. About 4 billion SIM cards are in rotation. So that doesn't include the ones that are still active but no one uses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to think about, right?
Yeah, you think everybody has access to a telephone nowadays.
We're like, ignore
Right.
when half the population has not even got that opportunity.
So
wouldn't even know what that is.
Instead of like, having drives for like clothes, clothing drives and shoe drives for these third world countries.
Okay.
Should we have like a cellular phone drive?
I think we'd also have to have a cellular tower drive.
Exactly.
And then maybe even electricity.
Might have something to do with it.
And by the way, they're pretty busy mining lithium for us. So
right. And getting diamonds for our
that's like shoemaker no shoes. Like, I don't want to bring that home.
Right.
A group of whales is called a mob. Dead ass or fake news? Lindsay?
Fake news.
It is fake news. Meerkats in a group are called a mob. A group of whales is called a pod.
Pod.
Gimpy Buzz Aldrin was the first man to take a wee on the moon.
That's funny you bring that up, because I was watching the TikTok this morning and it was like poop facts that you didn't know. And it said that Buzz Aldrin had dropped off like 4 bags of dookie on the moon while he was up there. So I'm going to say dead ass.
I don't know about the poop part, but dead ass, yes. True. The second man to stand on the moon was the first to take a whiz there into a special bag in his spacesuit. I don't know if he actually left 4 bags of crap on the moon. It probably was just in his spacesuit. Shortly after he stepped off the ladder of Apollo 11's lunar module, he went wee-wee.
That's like a total dude thing, right? You're like, well, I'm here. I might as well piss on it, right?
Gotta go.
Yeah, again, he's in a bag. Like, he ain't urinating on nothing.
Right.
He's urinating on himself.
You're not cool unless you pee your pants.
Right.
Feels like a line you've uttered before.
More than once.
Your fingernails and hair keep growing after you die, Lindsay.
Dead ass.
Fake news.
Oh.
While some may think it looks like they do, they really don't. It isn't that the fingernails are growing, but that the skin around them is retracting as it becomes dehydrated, which makes them appear longer.
Okay.
Gimpy, condoms have been around for 1,000 years. Sorry, condoms have been around for thousands of years. Fake news or dead ass?
I'm going to say dead ass. It wasn't the latex that you're commonly used to. It's where they use like sheep intestines and stuff like that.
You can go all the way back to 11,000 BC. The first evidence of condoms was found in caves in France, said to be the oldest evidence of condoms. There was a painting on the wall that scientists say represents them. Fast forward to 100 BC, and some historians argue that condoms made from cloth were used in ancient Egypt to protect against disease. From there, you can jump to 1400s AD, and they were used in China and Japan. In China, they were made from lamb intestines or oiled silk paper. In Japan, the materials of choice were tortoise shell or animal horn.
Ow.
There were many stops along the way, but the first modern form turned up in 1839 when Charles Goodyear created rubber condoms. More companies followed shortly thereafter.
What are we going to do with all this excess rubber from these tires we've been making? Put it on your wiener.
I think it's more of like he made the tire and they're like, Chuck, man, this is awesome. And he's like, it's not my passion.
Right.
Right.
I really want to make some sort of sleeve for the penis.
Right. Brilliant.
His friends are like,
And that's how they came up with the ribbed for her pleasure. You know, it's got that extra tread, that
Right.
tire
That's right.
on
Well,
it.
it wasn't initially called that. It was called the winter tire
Yeah.
or the winter condom. What if there's got to be a really good Netflix special about him discovering and doing condoms and one of them has to cross over the other. So like, did he go, man, roads are slick and this is what we do for the tires on roads.
I wonder.
Or vice versa.
Right. Most inventions are discovered by accident. Ew.
Twinkies have an infinite shelf life. Lindsay?
Fake news.
The official shelf life of a Twinkie is 45 days. People have kept them around for longer, but they become inedible.
Stick them in the freezer. Delicious.
They are good that way, yes. Goldfish only have a memory of 3 seconds, Gimpy. Dead ass or fake news?
I have heard that before. I have read it before. I think I've even used it for the numbers game once before, so I'm going to say dead ass.
Fake news. Goldfish's legendarily short memory is a common belief, but it's been debunked repeatedly. They can actually remember things for quite a long time. When I read that, I went, how do they know?
I was just wondering the same thing. Did they ask the fish?
Does it wag its tail? I mean, just like using that as an example, but does it wag its fin a little bit more when you show it the same color it's seen before?
Right.
Do you show it pictures of its mammy?
Right.
How do you check with a goldfish to know if it has a good memory? Any animal.
Exactly, because it's not like they're talking back.
Essentially, all that's a hunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have seen and been at people's houses who have raised their animal, loved it, taken care of it, fed it, took it to the vet. And then I've gone over, never met it, and the dog runs to me, not to that person.
Right.
Well, that's different. Is it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you could take like Pavlov's dog, right, and that whole scientific process, and then expand it to the goldfish area, because
that's conditioned.
Right.
That's you knowing that if you do that, this will happen. And that you could definitely draw a line to memory on that.
Right. Exactly. That's kind of where I was getting on that one. You know, it may be conditioned and trained this goldfish to do whatever, jump through a fiery hoop, you know.
With the logic.
Yeah. Jump through a fiery hoop.
In the water.
In the
it's
water,
a little more challenging.
exactly.
But impressive when they
Very
do it.
much so.
All right, Lindsay, people are either left-brained or right-brained. Dead ass or fake news?
I think that's fake news.
Fake news. The notion is so vague as to be virtually meaningless, writes Christian, I know more than you, Jarrett, in Great Myths of the Brain. We all use our left brain and right brain hemispheres to do different degrees depending on what mental activities we're currently engaged in. Gimpy, you can grow new brain cells as an adult. Dead ass or fake news?
I think it's dead ass. Because your skin cells are constantly growing as you live your life. So why can't your brain cells? I mean, because no matter what you do, whatever intoxicants you're bringing into your body, because they say marijuana kills the brain cells. I mean, those things just die naturally. All cells die naturally, and they have to be replaced. Because if all of our cells died and weren't replaced, we would die. Our lifespan would not be nothing. We'd live to be like 3.
Dead ass. For years, the consensus was that once you lost brain cells as an adult, they were gone. But that's not actually true. Lindsay, office chair racing happens every year in Japan. Dead ass or fake news?
I'm going to say dead ass because I hope it's true.
Dead ass. The ISU 1 Grand Prix, or the Chair 1 Grand Prix, is held every year in over 20 cities in Japan. The most recent one was October of last year. Fun.
Yeah. Office chair racing.
They had all falling down is something that comedically is always funny, but in Japan they love. There's a game show I have went down the rabbit hole to watch, and it is they slant a room and you have to try and deliver food to a table.
Oh God. Oh God.
And I'm not talking like 1 degree. I'm talking like 15.
Right. Noticeable difference. You're like, how you going to make it up that hill with a plate of sushi?
You damn near are not going to get it. So you get people and they're all in costumes or whatever. And people like try to run and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's got a different mindset because they think if I can run, like all you got to do is get it on the table.
Right.
Yeah.
And it don't matter. But people do not do it.
That's awesome.
It's one of the things that makes, if you ever watched on Netflix, The Floor is Lava, so fun to watch because it's people failing.
Right.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Gimpy, ancient Romans boiled goat poop in vinegar to make an energy drink. Fake news? I'm sorry, dead ass or fake news?
That sounds so ridiculous. Goat poop, huh? I don't see how you're getting any kind of energy out of that at all whatsoever. So I'm going to say fake news.
Dead ass.
God damn it.
The goat poop was ground into a fine powder or boiled in goat poop and was a popular way to get an energy boost. Emperor Nero reportedly loved the goat dung drinks more than most.
Oh, man, just stick to cocaine, man.
Lindsay, Sonic the Hedgehog isn't the video game's character's actual name. Dead ass or fake news?
Ooh.
Sonic the Hedgehog isn't the video game character's actual name.
I'll say
Dead ass or fake news?
I'll say dead ass.
Dead ass. According to comic books about the character, the Blue Speedster's full name is Ogilvy Maurice Hedgehog. It doesn't work very well in a marquee.
No, Sonic just rolls a lot easier off the tongue than Ogilvy Maurice.
Maurice. Gimpy, peanuts are nuts. Dead ass or fake news?
Fake news.
Peanuts are nuts. Dead ass or fake news?
Fake news. They're legumes.
Peanuts are not nuts. Peanuts actually grow underground as opposed to nuts like walnuts, almonds, etc. that grow in trees and are sometimes referred to as tree nuts. Peanuts, along with beans and peas, belong to the single plant family Leguminaceae. Legumes are edible seeds enclosed in pods. I mean, walnuts are in a pod.
Yeah, but they grow on trees, though.
Mm.
That's the problem. See, when your nuts are above ground, they're nuts. But if your nuts are below ground in the dirt, your nuts are in the dirt, they're legumes.
They're crazy.
Last one. Airplanes are required to have ashtrays, even though smoking isn't allowed on flights. Dead ass or fake news, Lindsay? Airplanes are legally required to have ashtrays, even though smoking isn't allowed on flights. Dead ass or fake news?
Fake news.
Dead ass. It makes sense because smoking isn't allowed, but if someone were to light up a cigarette on board a plane, there has to be somewhere to put it out. Therefore, airplanes are legally required to have ashtrays. I was on a newer plane. I didn't see ashtrays.
Yeah, I haven't seen one.
Also, didn't look for one.
Right.
True.
They probably got one in a cupboard somewhere just in case.
Like an old Burger King aluminum foil one?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they're like, sir, you can't smoke on the plane. You're going to have to put that out. And he's like, I don't know what to do it. So they go to the back next to the warm towels, you know, and they pull out that old ashtray. Here you
Warm
go.
towels?
Isn't that what they do in first class?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Or just go to the bathroom and run it under the water or something.
Yeah. I feel like
You know?
I don't want anybody running through a cabin. Maybe.
Or the
Don't flush in the toilet.
Flight attendant can bring a cup of water and you can just throw it in there.
And then what do you do with the water?
I don't know.
They should make
Set 'em
that
in the
person
sink.
hold it.
There you go.
They can't use their
Eat
tray.
it. You got to eat it.
That wouldn't bother some people.
Right.
I'm sure he's done that.
He would be like,
I'm
all
sure-
right, fine.
I can see him on a plane pulling a cigarette out, and they're like, "Don't light that," and he's like, "I'm not gonna."
I have no intentions on lighting it, ma'am.
Just going to eat it. Oh my God.
Not
like,
first time.
like, do you need it? Would you like an onboard snack? No, I got mine right here.
Sickest I've ever been on the show.
What do you mean?
I had to eat one.
Mhm.
Oh,
Sickest I've ever been on the show. It was the
I
worst. Talking about it too much, I might vomit.
oh,
Nothing for me. I'm laid up in the hospital with a broken leg from falling on the smallest patch of ice in the parking lot, and I needed something. So chomp, chomp, chomp. There
He
we
needed
go.
some nicotine, and they wouldn't
Crazy.
take him outside. So he was like,
All
"Okay,
right, whatever.
did you do it on a dare? No, no.
you mean life?"
You're right. Exactly.
No, it was part of the show. It was so we did, and I couldn't. Oh God.
Yeah. Don't think about it.
We got tickets to Clutch. We're going to give away with Giovanni and the Hired Guns. They're going to be at the Canes on August 19th. We'll do that when we come back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is
Friday, and so you got Saturday and Sunday already off. All right, so I'll give you Monday and Tuesday back to work on Wednesday.
What's the start in the middle of the week?
bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Listen, I got a business to run, Corbin.
That's what I'm saying. I hear people all the time say that this isn't fair. Life isn't fair. It's not fair for me. It's not fair for what I want to do. I hear that all the time. And I'm going to tell you a story right now where you don't get to say that anymore.
Okay.
All right.
There is a country on this planet
Mhm.
where the government makes them have a quota of collecting their own feces
Why? Why is
for
that even-
fertilizer.
Okay.
And as quotas go, they tend to grow every year.
You haven't crapped enough this year.
And
You need
it's-
to put out some more.
And it's such a problem, the quota and the unreachability for maybe you're not having enough fiber in your diet, that you end up stealing crap from your neighbors so you can meet your quota to the government.
What has this
Thou shalt not
world
steal
come
my
to?
neighbor's crap.
What's that, Gimpy?
So what does this world come to, man?
So when you talk about how unfair it is, just keep in mind, you're not having to steal your neighbor's crap, literally. I don't know what I would do. I got to keep. So like I do all the grocery shopping, right? I do the majority of cooking
Right.
because my schedule allows for that to happen.
Yeah.
So that means if the crap quota was a thing here, that would be on my list of things I got to take care of.
Absolutely. All right. So I got to go to the grocery store at 12:30. I've got a doctor's appointment and then pick up the dry cleaning. Oh, and I've got to take 4 craps today. Oh, big ones
Or-
too, because, I was light yesterday.
Hey, little Sally flushed.
Ye-
She can't be
Oh.
flushing.
Mm-hmm.
We are so close to this month's quota.
Yeah. You have to keep track of whenever anyone in your family goes poo. You got to collect it for your kids
What
and
do you-
your wife.
You want to guess what the average household quota a year is of crap
Oh,
in this country?
oof. I'm going. Go, Lindsay, go ahead.
Like pounds?
Yeah.
Billion pounds?
£1 billion in a household.
Good
Oh, in a
Lord.
household. I'll go.
That's
Let's
a lot
go
of
with-
duty.
Let's go with 100 pounds.
Okay. Gimpy.
I was going to say 50 pounds, I think is a good quota for your family to poop.
220 pounds a year in a household. Now, these are people that
Lord.
are able to do that, right?
Mhm.
So if you have somebody who's, they don't go, "Oh, sorry,
So-
they're on a colostomy bag.
It's a sliding scale, essentially.
Of course, it's an
Yeah,
average.
Yeah.
Right. If you have only 2 people in a house compared to the house of 6, I think the scale is going to be a little
Yeah.
different.
Does this article say like how they reach that number for the quota? Like, is it based on weight and diet and obviously household members, how many people you have in your house?
Sure. It's going to, by the number of people,
Okay.
depends on how much your
So
quota
it's
is.
strictly on the number of people
Yeah.
that judges how much you need to craft
course.
for this. Okay.
Yeah. What I said was the average.
Right. I was just thinking like, well, they look at a family of 6 and they're like, all right, well, you guys eat X amount a week. So therefore you should be producing X amount of excrement a week. So your quota is X. But I didn't know how it worked out. I guess it's just like you got 6 people, you can make this much poop.
Yeah, you should be able to make this much poop.
Should be able to.
And if not, see your doctor.
The idea that would be a stress in your life.
Yes. What does stress do?
Right.
Stress
binds you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, question.
Answer.
Would you rather, Gimpy, pay taxes or have to collect poop, your family's poop?
Pay taxes.
Amen.
Pay taxes, man. I am
Lindsay?
not. Oh.
I think I'd rather collect poop and use it for fertilizer than pay taxes.
You say that the first day.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
You may even say that the second day. But when you're on, let's just say month 6 of collecting your family's excrement.
I think it's worse than that. The first day the first month, you're not going to meet the quota.
Right. Oh my God. Oh, we can't go too far into this, but things are different for everybody.
Yeah,
and
everybody's
people
movements are different.
Everybody has different kinds. So let's just say you've got a bad flu one week. Flu will put you down for 4 days.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing solid about a flu.
Or how about this? You're on an antibiotic.
But you can't use that, right? Like it would have to be solid.
Listen, I didn't go deep into this. Sorry.
Right.
I didn't go to the ins and outs of every household and how many people and what antibiotics you were on and what did that have to do with it.
Yeah.
To me, the headline is enough.
Yeah. I'm assuming they just want the solid stuff. And I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, they want a
Gimpy,
good turd.
You clean up after your ferrets. I clean the cat's litter box. I mean, it's not too much different.
It's completely different. One, you're trained by the animal. The other is
right. We're trained by our parents to do it in a receptacle.
Someone text in, put a colander over the toilet bowl.
Dude,
I'm not
problem solved.
pooping in the same thing that I strain my spaghetti noodles
No,
in.
you buy 2.
Yeah, but you got to
noodles,
clean one,
for your
Lindsay. You
bathroom.
got to clean
Oh
one.
God, and then
Sure.
you get them mixed up because they're both silver.
One's plastic.
No, plastic absorbs smells.
Gross.
Use that one for your
Yeah,
pasta.
we're getting off. We're getting too far.
Gross. Come on, man.
220 pounds. 220 pounds
A month. Or is that a year?
A year.
A year. Okay.
A year.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of fertilizer.
I get a bag of salt, and it's like 40-pound bag, right, for the water softener,
Mm-hmm.
and so like 5 of the. That's a lot. I get it out of the trunk of the car, and I'm like, but to do that with my own feces, family's feces, is a whole other ball of wax. Amen, right?
Yeah.
When you think about the things that people go through in other countries, I'm like, can you imagine if somebody ran for office and they were like, hey, we're going to put down the national debt by harvesting our own feces. Listen to the math. There's this many number of us. We can sell it at this much. We'll have this debt wiped out in no time and have a surplus. You'll be sent a bag.
Right, a government bag. That is not the best bag ever. It kind of leaks every now and again.
Y'all couldn't wear a mask.
For real. You want me to crap in a bag every day? Ship it off.
Think about that.
It's
We couldn't get everybody on the same page.
Hey.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. It's do a game because we've got tickets to Clutch with Giovanni and Hired Guns to give away. That show is August 19th at the Canes Ballroom. We're going to play Sing Sing. Current record is?
Well, sir, I have 10. You have 7. Lindsay has 4.
Last week's winner was?
That'd be me.
So Corbin and Lindsay at 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide who's going to be your clue giver. Whoever gets the most right is going to win those tickets to see Clutch and Giovanni and the Hired Guns at the Canes in August. 918-460-KMOD. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Joshua.
Joshua, how are you today?
Doing great.
Good, Joshua.
Thanks for asking.
Hey, no problem. Joshua, who would you like to give clues, Lindsay or Corbin?
Let's go with Corbin.
Joshua, 60 seconds are on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue. Are you ready?
I hope so.
This guy is saying the song Copacabana, and he is quite the crooner. He is singing a song about a woman, or at least you think, but he is not.
Oh. I'm not sure.
Opposite of a female would be a
male.
Yes, another name for a male would be a
man.
The letter after C.
D.
Put those together.
Band.
Not incorrect, but give me the phonetics. It's a name usually of a girl.
Oh, like Mandy?
There you go. Yes, excellent.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
This song is about empowerment, and it's what a lion does.
Roar.
Yes. This is the guy from Owasso, went to OSU. The song that's at many weddings. Time 2 is what we got, man. Not very good, but people have won with 2 before, okay?
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Hang on the line. Don't go anywhere. We'll see if you win. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Bill.
Bill. How are you today, Bill?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Good. You and Lindsay have to beat 2, okay?
All right. I'm ready.
Timer starts after the first clue. Here we go.
All right. What is the opposite of weaker?
Stronger.
Yes. All right. This is a, they play a lot of, oh gosh. This band was huge in the 90s, and they, my goodness. Oh boy. The harmonica. Think of the harmonica. And oh my God. Don't walk, but faster than walk.
Run.
Trot. No,
Run.
you said run.
Run.
And go. Oh my God. A ball is what? The shape.
Round. Circle.
Put them both together.
Round.
Both those words together.
Round.
Not walk, but
round table.
No, not walk. The opposite of walk.
Run.
And the ball. Run.
Round.
Oh.
Run round.
Wow. Time is run out, Bill. And 1 is not enough, man. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, buddy.
All right. See you later, friend. Oh, you did it, Joshua. You're getting those tickets to see Clutch with Giovanni and the Hired Guns.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent job, sir. Hang on the line so Gimpy can get your info.
All right.
Good job. This is the one that Lindsay ended on. Yeah. John Popper is the lead singer. He was really fat. He would sit on stage with a vest and all the harmonicas in his vest. Still does that today, just not as fat. And this is, I wouldn't say they're huge in the 90s. This is the song they are known for. Right. And then that's that. You were trying to get him to say around.
Yeah.
And I can't. I know Gimpy's just chomping at the bit to sing some of this because he knows. I know he knows the lyrics.
No, not off the top of my head. Now you say that, I spaced.
No, I threw it on you too much, huh? Yeah. Run. You got him there, right? All around, yeah.
Tough one.
I mean, if you don't know, and you can't say the lyrics, and you don't know anybody in the band, not that that would have helped. This is someone who goes
like a game show host giving out the party and gifts. I cannot believe my eyes. The lyrics finally hit.
Yes, yeah. The rhythm was off, but yes.
A little bit, yeah.
The band it's a color. It is also the name of a genre of music. And the second part of the name of the band is the person who moves around a lot.
There we go. Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler, run around.
Okay. And the one that you stopped on was, yes, the man from Owasso, country singer. And this is the song that is played at most weddings. And it's the probably the first song. They call it the Between the Bride and Groom, their first blank.
Do you know the lyrics to that, Gimpy?
Looking back on the memory of blank, blank we shared beneath the stars above for a moment. Oh, well, yeah, that's about as far as I get.
Till I moved here, I didn't even know that was a song people played at weddings.
Really? And rumor has it he's a murderer. Garth Brooks.
All right, the record now.
Well, it keeps me in a lead with 10, moves Corbin closer with 8, and keeps Lindsay far back there with 4.
Take a break and we'll be back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show.
Right? Same way for girls looking for guys with well-endowed junk.
Yeah.
If that's on, like, every guy's going to put that in his profile.
Right.
But if you're on a website of Tubuku, you better be.
Right.
I don't go to the chicken restaurant and order a hamburger.
Yeah. Do you have to upload measurements to be on these websites?
If they exist, I don't even know.
Right.
So far, I just simply Googled website for men who want to only date women with fake breasts. That seems pretty simple and plain Jane, right?
Okay.
Haven't found anything yet. Haven't found anything yet. A lot of, these are the 28 best things to know before getting a boob job, or the 10 best dating apps, blah, 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 blah. But nothing in here, fakeboobsonly.com.
Okay, I Googled double D dating website.
Was double spelled out, or you just put 2 big D's on there?
No, I wrote double D dating website, and there isn't one. One does not come up.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that there are websites that get that specific.
Yeah. On our trademark. On our trademark.
Yeah, absolutely, there needs to be.
People are vain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole thing, if that was my company, is that you'd have to do that across the board. So if you're going to have, doubleddating.com, then you got to have, tubuku.com.
Right. 9 inches or more.com.
Yeah. If whatever that
Whatever
is.
it is, yeah. I'm almost afraid to type that in.
Just like people are into feet. Like there should be a website that if you want to date someone who loves dealing with feet as a woman and you're comfortable, like there are people that's that rowboat has 2 oars,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What did you find?
Is there one?
Fatu. It says foot fetish dating platform. Feet worship and femdom chat. Fetish sex dating, the online kink community.
Yeah, I mean,
there's. I was just looking for dating sites about foot fetishes.
I guess that'd be a subgenre of BDSM, right? So
yeah, sure. Footfetishdating.com. Click. Footfetishmatch.com. So they do have websites that will get down into it in certain aspects in certain areas. Giant schlongs or mega boob isn't one of them. But feet. Why?
Lindsay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically they want to know, are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversation. For the record, if you write that in there, I know you're not. Just saying, because if you were, you'd say something intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindsay? How do you find a well-endowed man or person?
I don't know.
Oh, your
I
poor
mean,
husband.
I would say I found mine. I'm
There,
not looking.
too late.
Yeah.
All right. What's done is done.
So I would say maybe join a
good for
matchmaker. Ask a matchmaker to help you out. I feel like that would be something that would be on a matchmaking site.
Right, but don't you think there's room for fibbing on that?
Yeah,
You get to
definitely.
embellish a lot on those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Picture of you and a dog, and they're like, oh, where's your dog? I don't have a dog.
Mhm.
Oh, there's a picture of you on your dating profile. Yeah.
About that. That was my friend's dog, and I
Yeah.
thought it would just,
It's a great picture of me.
bring you in.
They do say that people with dogs in their profile pictures
Totally.
get lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are two ways to pick up women, in my opinion.
Mm.
A dog at a park.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I hope so.
Offer
Yeah.
to pick up your friend's kids at school where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it. All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self. All right? Go find somebody and ask them if they got a big schlonger. And if the answer's yes, then okay, well, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself, but then there you got your answer. But I don't know. I have never searched for a guy with a huge schlong. I have no desire to search for a guy with a huge schlong. Now I'm out. I have no advice for you.
If you asked me where to find information on molecular science, I wouldn't be able to help you. Nor am I a resource for this. I'm just making an assumption. You might be focusing on the wrong thing.
Eyes up here, lady.
Yeah.
Right? If your objective's just to get that, go to the bar and ask guys.
Absolutely.
They will gladly tell you. And be ready to call them out on it. Because every guy is going to say they're a horse. That the Jolly Green Giant ain't got nothing on them.
When I had first pierced mine way back when I was in high school, you're proud of it. And I was talking to this gal, Amber, I think is what her name was. And I was telling her about it. Oh, yeah, penis is pierced, did it myself, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's sit. Okay. So I had no choice but to present myself to her. Oh, it just goes to prove his point. You're going to have to be prepared for them to, whip it out.
Yeah. You're going to have to be very assertive. Did you end up sleeping with her?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Why you say that?
I asked for the dessert tray. I'm getting dessert.
Not if it's ugly.
I don't know anything about that.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a
What?
headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See, that was
was a good headline.
You told me you just pointed out a missed opportunity, and I was like, well, I got one too. So I just changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days. All right. Well, for a couple of days, because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay. So they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused her daughter, who is 44 years old, Candace Craig, of credit card fraud. So that led to an argument betwixt Margaret and Candace, which led to Margaret's death. Okay. So flash forward a little bit. They say that the 19-year-old daughter of Candace, a woman named Celia Hardy, found the body of Margaret in a plastic bin and then decided to help
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. Listener emails coming up. And we have to tell the truth, but first we got to see what's in Gippy's 4x4. Well, Colvin says here that IRS agents are no longer showing up unannounced. Has any of you had one show up at your house unannounced? Not only has one never shown up to me unannounced, I don't know anyone they've ever shown up to unannounced.
Nor have I. Business owners or residents at all whatsoever. They never had one. Anyway, I guess they're going to stop doing it. It says here that the agency announced yesterday that it's ending the practice and will now send letters to schedule meetings like they used to. IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel said showing up unannounced has created stress for taxpayers. Derp already worry.
They created the stress.
Right.
Or did you not paying your taxes create the stress?
Right. It says here already weary of possible scams. And for our IRS agents who don't know what to expect when showing up, which makes sense for like the safety of the IRS agents, for the workers, man. You don't know what's going on over there.
Yes.
You're showing up and you're demanding money. I mean, come on.
And I don't know what you're going to catch me not doing by showing up unannounced.
Right. I caught you not
I'm like
doing
in the
your
middle
taxes.
of putting my deposit in.
I'm
Right.
in the middle of quarterback. What do you want?
It says here that the Biden administration sues Texas over their floating border wall. The Justice Department filed a lawsuit Monday in the federal district court in Austin after a deadline it had given to Texas to remove the barriers had passed. The system of buoys, which is floating in the Rio Grande near the town of Eagle Pass, has the support of the Border Patrol Union. In the lawsuit, the DOJ claims Texas officials needed to request permission from the federal government before putting the barrier in place. Texas Governor Abbott defended the barrier in a letter to JB yesterday, saying Texas used, quote, its constitutional authority to fight the legal border crossings, and added, Texas will see you in court, Mr. President.
And then he did a horns down.
Right. Says here that Israel approves controversial reforms amid the protests. Protests are rocking Israel after Parliament passed a law weakening that country's Supreme Court. Lawmakers unanimously approved a key portion of the controversial judicial overhaul pushed by Benjamin Netanyahu. The vote came after lawmakers opposed the bill stormed out of the chambers. The measure removes the court system's ability to strike down, quote, unreasonable government decisions. Critics say it undermines democracy in Israel.
One of the because they have a volunteer thing where you've got to show up, everybody, for military service.
Gotta volunteer.
You have to.
You gotta volunteer. It's not really volunteering at that point, but I get what you're saying.
Fair point.
Mandatory.
Fair point. They're like, we won't show up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess but if that's the law, you have to show up.
Yeah, but they're in
protesting
of this thing.
Oh, they throw them all in jail. Hey, lastly
He
here.
gets up. I'll get up.
Anarchy. Lastly here, mid-U.S. citizens, that's us, are called to mail in deceased butterflies for environmental research. Yes, you find a dead butterfly, mail it in. People in 6 mid-U.S. states are being asked to mail in dead butterflies, moths, and skippers, not kids that are like just hopping and skipping along.
Not
Kill them
Barbie.
and then shove them in a box and mail them to this place. It says here to help U.S. Geological Survey scientists establish a Lepidoptera research collection. The pilot study for citizen science invitation includes 6 states: Alabama, Georgia, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Texas. The specimens will help USGS scientists identify contaminants and environmental factors which may be contributing to the decline of insect populations.
Is this what they're talking about?
I think so.
Crazy Town?
Send them all, MP3s, old CDs if you got them or whatever.
Find a CD on the ground, you mail it into them. How funny is that?
What is a skipper?
Someone who skips?
That's
he
was the
it's also guy in
main
charge
Yeah.
of the ship.
Yeah.
It's also what old men call young boys. Hey there, skipper.
Ooh, hey.
Hey now.
Oh.
Hey now.
Not what I was called. That's old.
The NFL is suspending another player for violating the league's policy on gambling. The NFL announced Monday that Denver Broncos defensive end Ioma Uwazurike has been suspended indefinitely. Uwazurike can be up for reinstatement in July of 2024 and will miss all of next season. The 25-year-old bet on NFL games during the 2022 season, according to the league. He becomes the 10th player suspended by the NFL this year for violations of its gambling. The Raiders are making a major addition to their secondary. Las Vegas signed cornerback Marcus Peters to a 1-year deal on Monday. Peters recorded 47 tackles and a career-low 1 interception through 13 games with the Baltimore Ravens last season. The 3-time Pro Bowler returned after missing all of the 2021 season with a torn ACL. The 30-year-old Peters will look to boost a Raiders defense that recorded an NFL worst 6 interceptions last season.
He was on the Chiefs. And when he was on the Chiefs, he had moments of awesomeness.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he would not tackle.
No, stop.
No, he was he is a stripper. So he goes to try to strip the ball out.
Oh, okay.
And can and has been successful at it. The problem with that is if the guy's holding on to the ball and you try to strip, he may just run off.
Mm-hmm.
And so it frustrates coaches and defense. Maybe he doesn't do this anymore, but he was annoying.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's on the Raiders is awesome.
Yeah. And the Green Bay Packers are giving a time frame to decide if their new quarterback is worth investing in. Team president Mark Murphy told the media on Monday that Jordan Love will get at least a half a season to prove himself. Murphy compared the first year of Aaron Rodgers, who took over at quarterback for Brett Favre, and said, even though we ended up with a losing record that year, we saw enough of Aaron to know we had something special. The Pack extended Rodgers midway through his first season as a starter and finished with over 4,000 yards to go with 28 touchdowns. Love was extended in the offseason with a contract that runs through 2024. The Utah State gunslinger was selected 26th overall by Green Bay in the 2020 draft. And the 4th overall pick of the 2023 NFL draft is officially a member of the Colts. On Monday, Indianapolis agreed to terms on a 4-year, $33.99 million fully guaranteed deal with rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson. The contract includes a $21.72 million signing bonus paid entirely up front and also includes a 5th-year option. The 21-year-old started 13 games for Florida in 2022 and finished the season with 3,100 yards and 24 touchdowns through the air to go along with 1,116 yards and 12 scores on the ground. In addition to signing Richardson, cornerback Juju Brents and offensive tackle Blake Freeland also agreed to their rookie deals. Brents was selected with the 44th overall pick out of Kansas State, and Freeland was taken 106th overall out of BYU. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste.
Monday on his own
Reconnaissance.
Yes, thank you. Harris's rap sheet includes convictions for criminal mischief and also battery. This guy.
You.
Yeah.
So obviously I know masturbating's a thing.
Yeah.
from what I hear.
Mhm.
Is recording yourself masturbating a thing?
He wasn't recording himself. He was watching the porno on his phone, and he was playing it over a Bluetooth speaker so everyone could hear it. Like they could hear the video itself.
Sure. I
That's how
thought
he
you
was watching it.
I thought you said the police looked at his phone to verify it was him.
No.
To verify he's probably watching porn or something like that.
Yeah.
You're mine now.
Jesus. Yeah, you got to watch those Bluetooth connections, man.
Yeah, they just pop up everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You are connected.
I found this list of annoying things people say. I'll say the phrase. You guys tell me if you say it. This is going to be humiliating for all of us.
All right.
Okay.
Annoying things people say.
I don't mean to be rude, but I hate this phrase. You do mean to be rude.
Yeah. That's just like, hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but
That is a weird psychological thing you do as a human being to make yourself feel better. I don't mean to interrupt, but that type of thing.
I don't know if I say that. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the two we've read, I'm not willing to go all in that I've never said them.
Okay. No, I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
Well, I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I can't. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition, and I can't accept that I've lost,
Right.
or I can't accept that I've won, or whatever. And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh, geez. I said that.
I've said that.
Yeah.
Several times on the show.
Well, okay. What is said on the show is different than reality.
Right. I get that. I get that. They're just jokes. Say that to the people they're directed to when they take it personally. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
These are annoying things people say. Let's unpack this. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Mirror you.
Do you know who I am? I've never said that.
Never.
I never have either. Not like to anybody in particular. Like, I'm at, bar, restaurant. You know who I am?
Right.
No. But like in a joking manner.
Telling a story?
Yeah.
For sure.
You know who I am?
No, you're right.
Come on.
And I've been with people that have said it, and it makes me cringe. Like where they've said, "Do you know who this is?" I'm like, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
Next couple are going to sting. It is what it is.
Oh, that's my fave. That is my absolute fave.
I will validate that. That is annoying to hear. Well, actually.
Ugh. Those come in on a lot of texts on here.
Yeah. And on this show.
Mhm.
Love the sinner, hate the sin.
No.
Again, another phrase that people use to excuse behavior.
Right.
Yes.
I always keep it real, and a lot of people can't handle the truth I speak.
That's just a way of saying I'm an asshole.
Totally. I've said that line. That's problematic. I don't find that one annoying.
No.
That's an observation you're making. You're not critiquing anybody. You're like, well, that's problematic.
Yeah. You can see something on the horizon, like this is going to cause some issues. Yeah.
I need to speak to a manager.
Hi, Karen. I've never had to say that.
I can't, upon reflection, like with not in the moment of a fly in my soup or whatever, I can't think of a reason I need to speak to the manager.
No. It's simple. I just won't come back to X place, wherever it is.
Agreed.
There's nothing me speaking to the manager will fix.
No.
It is strictly an ego move. I need to know you've heard me.
Right.
I need to believe you're going to fix this. Not to play the devil's advocate, but show's based off that theory. Trust the science. I've heard that too.
Right.
I'm just an aggressive person. I'm just an aggressive person. I have a lot on my mind.
I'm an asshole, and I need to get all this out.
Full stop.
That sounds familiar.
Never heard that. Why are you such in a bad mood? Bitch, when I'm in a bad mood, and you go, why are you such in a bad mood? Whew. Whew.
Just stay. Don't even ask.
Right.
Or when they think that you're in a bad mood. Why are you so angry? Why are you so grumpy? I'm not. If I was in a bad mood, you'd know it. I'm just here chilling.
But on the same side, if someone, like, shouldn't we be better as individuals and goes, hey, someone's being concerned and just calling a spade a spade.
Right.
Hey, why are you such in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad mood.
Right.
Okay. I'm
Stop
concerned
yelling
for
at
your
me.
mental well-being,
Sure.
man. Sorry. Next time I'll use a more politically correct term, you pussy.
Just leave me alone.
Hey, listen, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Got a lot
Full
on your
stop.
mind.
Is there another way to come at someone like that? If you recognize someone in a bad mood?
Oh, yeah, it's easy. Just leave them be.
There's definitely don't play an active part in a person's life. Probably you have to be a little more kid glovish, right? And you're like, hey, little fella, you look like you're struggling. What's been going on? Come on, here's a lollipop. Tell me what the problem is.
Can I be a shoulder for you to cry on?
Here's another one. Live, laugh, love.
I've seen those signs.
My wife finally is getting rid of the gather sign in our dining room. I have
Oh.
no idea where we're going to eat.
What's your reason for getting rid of it? She's just like, all right,
I think I've pushed the button enough.
Fine. We'll take it down. Why are you in such a bad mood?
People come over, or my girls will go, where are we eating dinner tonight? I'm like, just look for the sign.
Right? Tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I totally thought you were like, I have no idea why. I have no idea where we're gonna eat.
Right, because the sign says
I know,
gather.
I love it.
And it's a play on like, hey, we're
I
family.
know.
Okay.
This is
Trying
awesome.
to help you. For your situational awareness. I don't.
No, seems like a lot.
Another one that is a button. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down is a move someone says to try and like establish alpha.
Right. Dominance.
Yeah.
Instead of peeing on their leg or whatever. Just
Yeah.
calm down.
This line. I work hard. When I hear this line, I just laugh inside. Because if you have to announce you work hard, you don't.
A king that has to say he is king is no king.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
You are insecure in your hard work ethic that you must pronounce to the world that you do. When letting your actions should reflect that, right? I reject the premise of that question. If you said that to me, I'd probably laugh.
Get out of here with that.
Gimpy and I laugh about this one all the time. If I were you,
you should just.
You should just as a variation of
right
that.
along the same lines.
You need to.
This is another one I love. Threat to our democracy.
Oh, good Lord.
Must be nice. Like, must be nice.
Oh, I was thinking.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Sign up to win those Alice in Chains tickets online at KMOD.com. That show is on a Tuesday night, September 24th at the Tulsa Theater.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Morning, Corbin. You know what? We're we're exactly 6 Fridays away from Rocklahoma 2023. Labor Day weekend, Prior USA. Get your full lineup and link for tickets at KMOD.com.
Feels like that feels like it should be shorter than that, right? All right, listener emails. You can always email us, show@KMOD.com, show@KMOD.com. We read an email on the air, and then you guys get to give advice on what should happen. It says, hello, my favorite morning show. Longtime listener. I never thought I would email you for advice, but I don't know who to ask anonymously like I can with you guys. I got divorced last year after being married for 7 years. I've been on Tinder dates and recently went on one And the guy checks all the boxes. I've never dated someone, even my ex, that I have so much in common with. Every time we're together, we have a great time, laughs, terrific conversation, and I really enjoy it. He's so kind. However, in spite of all this, I don't get the gaga feels over him. I don't get that tingly butterfly feeling in my stomach when I think about him. Do you need butterflies or that gaga feeling in your stomach to be in love with someone? I was watching, there's a show, and it's called Big D. And in the show, there's a scene where after they get divorced, the couples separate out. All the men go to one side of the house, the women go to the other. The women are given a phone and can be anonymous and text whoever they want in the house. And guys who feels like he's got game, at one point he's like, I can't keep up with this. I can't be in the game. If this is what it means to have game, I ain't got it. And I think a lot of people would feel that way to be out in the dating scene again.
After being gone for so long, for sure.
Yeah, and this person says only 7 years married.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of like having to get back in it and have game, so I don't know, would you have the gagas again?
You know, the fun thing about that is everybody still got the game, quote unquote. Your game has just changed. Your game has evolved a little bit from when you were in your 20s, early 20s, mid 20s. It's just a different kind of game. You know, you're not telling the woman whatever she wants to hear just to get into her pants. Maybe you are. It's more, I'll say it matured a little bit throughout the years.
Any skill set you have and stop using, you begin losing it the day you stop using it.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
That's fine. It doesn't make it less true, though.
I think that, I think you still have the skill. You may get a little cage rust, okay, in the beginning, because you haven't used said skill in a long time. But once you learn something, it's in there. It's deep in that brain somewhere of yours, and you just got to dig it out and figure it out, and you're like, oh, man, yeah, it's not what it used to be. You just got to adapt and overcome.
I just don't like playing a game.
But dating's a game.
Sure. But I think it's more so like just finding that right person who, you just have to connect with. And it's like, look, I've been out of it for a long time. And maybe if you're lucky, that person has been too.
So you both can be awkward and weird.
Exactly. Exactly.
Commiserate.
Yeah, you both are awkward and weird, and no matter what, no matter how old you are, no matter what age you are, and the beginning of that relationship, the courtship, I guess you could say, it's always awkward and weird. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Do I make a move? Do I not make a move? If I say this, will she think it's funny? I think it's funny, but you see what I'm saying? So it's always awkward and weird, no matter how old you are.
I think it's a game for sure. Dating's a game. It just is, because you're not being honest. Even if you think you're being honest, you're holding back.
Absolutely.
Because you're not going to go out farting.
Right.
No.
You're going to be on your best behavior. You're going to be your best representation because you really want this person to like you. And eventually, if they stick around long enough, they learn who the real you are and that your butt really does stink. And then if that's okay, then they stick around.
Not all, but people put up facades and maybe do things in the beginning of relationships that they would never do forever. There's plenty of jokes about men when they marry their woman and what the women stop doing and vice versa. Right? So there is a game that happens.
This text here says, does it say how long they've been dating? Because if it's been 2 weeks, easy now. Don't think you should be in love with that over-the-top feeling.
But the question of butterflies in the stomach. Right? Should you have that dating early?
Right.
Again, it's been a hot minute. But if you don't, I would think if there's somebody you like, you would get that feeling.
Yeah. Doesn't that happen usually fast? You're kind of smitten right away.
It could be. Could be. But if you've been traumatized because, due to prior relationships,
Okay.
it's not going to come across that easy. You're not going to get those butterflies. I don't think anyway. I mean, that's just me thinking, if you're traumatized with anything, people love to swim around in the pool or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And you damn near drowned one day, and you're like, but I really love swimming in the pool. I don't know if I should get back into this pool yet or not because I almost died last
Well,
time.
and that's the thing. Maybe they're just not ready to be dating. If they
Maybe so.
were that traumatized.
Maybe so.
Or she is
Or
not.
she maybe
She-
put the brakes on.
Gimpy's the only one that's the newest in the dating world.
For sure.
So I'm going to ask this question, Gimpy. Whether
Yeah,
he's going to answer it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you get butterflies when you are about, like you went on vacation, came back, did you get excited? Do you get butterflies when your girl texted you while you were gone or when you were about to see her again?
For sure. For sure. Absolutely. It's that excitement, because something's been missing for so long, even if it's just a couple of days or whatever, but I can tell you honestly, I mean, it wasn't like that in the beginning because of trauma. Because trauma from the last previous relationship. So that goes along with, I mean, yeah, you'll probably, I mean, and this isn't part of my advice at all whatsoever. So I feel like I can share this. If you're into this new relationship and you're thinking that like, oh, I should have this, but your last relationship totally thrashed you. It's not going to be that easy. And as much as you want that feeling, because that feeling gives you comfort, you know what I mean? It probably just might not happen because your body is protecting itself. Your brain is protecting you. Your emotions are protecting you because you don't want to go through that again. I just went through this, and I gave everything I got and it went to S. You see what I'm saying? It's one of those things. But I don't know what this person's situation is. I don't know if they were traumatized.
Some texts that are coming in. Reasonable answer. You're not a kid anymore, so maybe you don't have those googly eye feelings so much. Nuclear answer. Find the guy that causes weird feelings in weird parts of your body. That's right. Go into porn. Another text. She's a cheating whore. Another one. Gimpy's right. When your younger love was gaga feeling, when your older love is feeling safe, secure, calm, and reassured. In this day and age, marriage doesn't necessarily mean love anymore. It's completely okay to make a marriage about being a good match and letting the love grow slowly.
There ain't nothing wrong with that either.
So the text is saying, if I understand it, it doesn't have to be love. You just go, yeah, they're nice, and we'll just let love grow like corn in a field.
Right.
Yeah.
That seems to me like they're settling.
It does feel like settling. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, they're nice. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get Stockholm syndrome after a while.
Right.
I see. I don't agree with that. I like that, but I don't agree with it because I think this all goes back to trauma again. If you've been traumatized in a previous relationship, of course you're going to hold everything you have really, really close to you, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong
Sure.
with being very protective over yourself because you don't want to go through that hurt and pain again. And eventually, like the corn in a field, it will grow and blossom. And the next thing you know, you're having, family reunions and we're all eating the corn that I grew in the field.
And then 40 years later, you're like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Your corn was
I didn't
good
like you at
40
all.
years ago.
You were just there.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Let's see, make sure I get back on track here. I think butterflies is just that lust you have when you start something new. Go into it with an open mind and see where things go. I feel unsafe away from my husband, truly. When my husband comes back from work trips, it's more about comfort. Well, that might be a little different. That could be a little codependency.
Right. And that's also husband, marriage, right? This is not a marriage. This is just
Dating.
brand new dating.
No, that's true.
Mhm.
I think that's a good point. Yeah. To judge whether something is real based off whether you didn't eat greasy food, right? Because you don't know the feeling you have. Your body reacts a certain way, a certain day. It might also be a factor of what you ate, how you slept.
Right.
Are you on your cycle?
Right. Are you taking drugs or drinking? Are you altering your mind in some way or another?
Your indoctrination that has happened.
Mhm.
I referenced the Dugar documentary on Amazon, and in it, it talks about that when you are asked by a guy, to the women, when you are asked by a guy to date or get married, you say yes because God, has come to you, brought this person before you, and you don't question that.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter who that other person is. Doesn't matter if you're attracted to him. It does not matter.
Right.
This was a gift.
Yes, to you. So you just have to go with it. My point being is that the many factors could create the sensation or the feeling you're having.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily just mean because you got the bubble guts that it's love.
I don't know if this is love or Taco Bell, but I'm feeling something.
I like this text. Love is a choice, not a feeling. More often than not, the feeling is a trauma response. If it gives you butterflies and a tingly feeling, it's more than likely your body warning you because something feels familiar. Listener email from a girl who says that she's a longtime Hello, my favorite morning show, longtime listener, and I never thought I would email you for advice, but I don't know who to ask anonymously like I can with you. I got divorced last year after being married for 7 years. I've been on Tinder dates and recently went on one, and the guy checks all the boxes. I've never dated someone, even my ex, that I have so much in common with. Every time we're together, we have great laughs and terrific conversations, which I really enjoy. He's so kind. However, in spite of all this, I just don't feel gaga over this guy. I don't get that tingly butterfly feeling in my stomach when I think about him. Do you need butterflies or gaga feeling to be into somebody, Lindsay?
In a way, I feel like you do need that feeling. When you think about when I think about my husband, it makes me happy to think about him. Like there's times where I'll hear a song that reminds me of him and it puts a big smile on my face. So that to me is that gaga feeling. It's not necessarily butterfly. Butterflies are like a nervousness. I think people confuse the butterflies with. It doesn't make me nervous, but yeah, I get that gaga feeling because I'm in love with him, you know, but there should be some sort of emotion when you think about someone that you want to be in a relationship with. But I think if you said that he makes you happy, you have a good time with him. So maybe he's just going to be a friend. But I definitely think there should be something in your gut that tells you, yes, I want to be with this person. You should have some sort of a pull towards him. Physically, emotionally, to be in a relationship.
What were you going to say, Gimpy?
Oh, I was going to ask her. She's like, I don't get butterflies anymore with her husband, but you guys have been together for a coon's age. But you had those butterfly feelings in the beginning, right?
Well, it was more of like a nervous thing.
Right, exactly. But now you guys have been together forever. So that nervousness for you is gone. You still get that emotion. You still get that happy feeling that when you hear a certain song, but that nervousness, the nerves aren't there anymore because you guys have been together forever. You're very comfortable with each other.
Sure, but there are times where he can, like if we're going to go out for our anniversary. I want to make sure I look really good or something. And I can get nervous. Like, I hope he likes this outfit or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are times.
Yeah, but that's hoping
Right, absolutely.
He likes it.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess there are times where he can make me feel a certain way where it's a butterfly-ish type feeling. But I don't know. I just feel like there is. So happy just thinking about him.
Right. It's just a change. A change from nervous to a more comfortable, happy feeling.
But it's always something triggers where you do get that gaga type feeling.
Yeah. And that happens with everybody. You know, you still get it. It's just different. It's a different kind of feeling.
Yeah, but if she's not getting it at all.
But here's the thing, though, and this is where my answer comes into play. And I don't know this woman from Jane at all whatsoever. But maybe she was traumatized in her last relationship, or maybe she's gone through a couple of these different relationships and it doesn't pan out. So her confidence level is down, but she meets this great guy and she's like, man, this guy's awesome, but I'm scared. I'm scared to get into this relationship because I don't want to get hurt again.
Mhm.
And I think that's totally natural for anybody. That's almost cussed right there. But I've been in the past, since I've been on this show, what, 2-3 different relationships? Come on. Divorced with another one for 4 years. Okay. So, I mean, one could look at it and be like, okay, I can see why you're not so open. I can see why you're holding back because you are afraid to make that commitment because you don't want to go through the same trauma and bull that you just got done going through. And that's another thing that we don't know. Much like that texter said, we don't know how long this gal's been separated. If she was separated and they just got divorced and it's only been a month or two and she's just trying to get back into some kind of normalcy of her life because she was married for 7 years and that's what's normal to them. But now your world's upside down. You're like, I don't know what to do. So our natural instinct is to revert back to what makes us feel good.
Mhm.
Revert back to the time where we were happy and everything was good. So
Perceived happy.
Perceived
Yeah.
happiness. Exactly. So that's why a lot of people just jump straight back into relationships. A lot of tree swingers out there. And tree swingers, I mean, just going from one relationship to another because they just want to feel happy and comfortable like they did way back then. There's a quote that I'd seen that said, if something doesn't come natural to you, then it wasn't meant to be. And I interpret that as if you've got to force something, you got to force happiness, you've got to force love into a relationship, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be at all. And it'll eventually fizzle out. I'm going to use my last relationship as an example. I was, once again, perceived happiness, trying to revert back to a time where I was happy and I tried to force it and it didn't work out. And then you find out what kind of piece of trash that they really are and it doesn't work out. Here's my advice to this person. Just let it happen naturally. Don't force it. The universe works in an amazing way. And as cliche as it is, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. So you have your fun, fornicate as much as humanly possible, go on the dates, and if it works out, fantastic. If not, on to the next one. Maybe take some time to yourself and just kind of hang out and do you for a while.
Interesting text coming in. This says, the butterflies are a blinding distraction of emotion. The bond you form, I don't know what this says, from seeing the real person and lead to pain. Smart love is a good fit and relationship that has grown. Another one. Those butterfly feelings is your body ensuring the survival of the human race. It's making you want to procreate. That's why butterfly feelings go away after 3 or 4 months. What, you don't want to procreate anymore?
Right? After 3 months in your relationship,
I must have not gotten that message. I'm assuming after 7 years of marriage, she has kids. Hence, no butterflies. She's already had kids.
They all came out with the babies?
I think it's a little bit about what Gimpy said. I think it's very much like slow down. If you just got out of a marriage and you're trying to resort to that secure thing, so you're rushing to that. There's a Confucius quote that I'm going to mutilate, but it has something to do with when you grow a flower, if you try to make it grow faster, you'll pull on it and kill it. Or if you try to harvest it too early, you won't see its full blossom. So you're rushing it. Just let it happen. Slow down. Be grateful someone swiped. Is it left?
Right.
Someone swiped right on you.
Yeah, well, left is no bueno. Yeah.
Okay.
Hideous dog. Get the F out of here.
Yeah. Be grateful that after 7 years of marriage, there might have been a moment you were like, oh, I don't think anybody's going to want me now. And someone does. And just one day at a time. And when you start getting anxious like that, slow it down. Slow down to 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute, to make it a little more present. Rather than like, I don't know, I've got to judge whether this is going to work today.
Right.
Rather than like, this is pretty cool. How lucky am I? Move on. And then let the next miracle of the relationship happen, or it won't. But to go with, I don't know. I think the butterflies and the gut feelings like Lindsay was talking about are all based off memories. I think that's why she moved over to, I hear a song, it reminds me, it gives me a feeling that, you have good conversation with someone, you have good sex with them, you see a text from them, you get excited.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have any of that, why would you have butterflies? Why would you get excited?
Right.
Exactly.
You got some advice you need? We'd be happy to spew our guts about it. Send it over to a show at KMOD.com.
The Big Mad Morning Show.
Knowing that phrase is
Yes, absolutely.
dad mode, man. I can't stand that. Are we there yet? You'll know. How will I know? When I park the car.
Right. Then you stop at the gas station, take a whiz, right? Because you've been on the road for 16 hours. Are we there yet? But you said we were there when you stopped the car. I got to piss. Shut up.
Knowing things people say. I'm the type of person.
Ugh.
Hear me out.
No.
Per my last email.
In other words, I ain't going to say it again.
No, meaning you didn't read it.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Do your own research.
Lazy ass.
Because I said so? Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a good dad answer right there. Well, why? Because I said so. That's why.
Right. But if you think about it, when you're trying to shape a young mind,
Mhm.
it gives no context. You don't learn from that.
And I'm
No.
so guilty of that.
Totally. Every
Mm.
parent is.
Absolutely.
It's an easy answer. If you're saying that, you're already frustrated.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I even read an article
Oh, good.
years ago saying why you shouldn't say that to your kids. And just like you said, because you're shaping a young mind, it gives them no real reason as to why they shouldn't do this or that. You should give them a reason
Right.
behind why you're saying no.
It's an interpretation like a confrontation rather than like, no, I just don't understand.
Right.
I'm only saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah. I've said that before.
Yeah, me same.
I don't like drama.
Hell yeah. Everybody says that.
And yet here we are.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Lie.
Yeah. It's only said by those people who create the drama or are involved in the drama. Just giving you a hard time.
That means I'm an asshole, and I notice that I've hurt your feelings, so therefore I've got to smooth things over. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. That's just how I was raised. I hate this statement.
Right.
Because you can't evolve. We can't evolve as people.
No.
You can't want to break the cycle that happened to you.
No.
I get it.
No. Those issues are deep rooted inside me.
Right. And therefore, everyone must be exposed to them.
Absolutely.
Because I was.
Mm-hmm.
3 charged in kidnapping extortion plot. 3 people have been arrested after torturing a man in a hotel room in Tennessee. It happened on the 21st of this month when police say 25-year-old Jessica Mortensen lured a 25-year-old man to a hotel room. Inside the room, 41-year-old Harry Kingham and 37-year-old Joshua Frazier forced the victim to remove his clothes, then held him at gunpoint while taking him to the bank to withdraw. The victim was then thrown out of the car in his driveway.
Oh, damn.
All 3 suspects then returned to the hotel where the incident happened. Where police found them.
Yeah, and you never go back to the scene. Right?
Yeah.
Come on.
There's a drug involved, Lindsay. Can you guess what drug is involved?
Meth.
Yes.
Nothing good comes out of methamphetamine.
Nope.
Yeah, and apparently he made an arrangement because he knew this girl from high school, and he made an arrangement for sex for $300, and the police were like, we're not charging him with solicitation. He's the victim here.
Mhm.
Even though he was participating in a crime, they knew he would fall for it. They clearly took advantage of him for hours and made him give up his information, so he's not getting charged with. So I don't know if maybe he was somebody of some sort of brain disorder or on the spectrum or something that made him, according to the news report, gullible.
Okay, yeah.
maybe just one of those lonely dudes, and this was the hot chick in high school. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Megan wants me now?
Yeah.
Well, Megan's, 45 right now and has got 6 kids and a drinking problem, but
meth problem.
a meth problem. And, but it's okay because he remembers teenage Megan. And he's like, well, I'm going to get me some of that.
Yeah.
Finally, I get to touch my unicorn. And, well, they left you naked in your driveway.
Yeah.
On the upside of that, at least they dumped him in his driveway and not, I don't know, traveling down the highway.
The police report said they threw him out of the car in his driveway with like a bag of garbage. That's what the report said.
Like a bag of garbage or with a bag of
like
garbage?
a bag of garbage.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he's alive and he is at his house.
All right. The proverbial question.
Uh-huh.
How many days off does he get after being kidnapped, tortured, thrown in his driveway like a bag of garbage? How many days off do you get from something like that? These are bonus days. You're not using vacation or sick days.
We're just going to go ahead and give you some time off to recoup.
Yeah, we as a company empathize with that crazy situation.
Mm-hmm.
You get some days off to recover. That happened on a Friday, the 21st of last Friday. Lindsay.
So does he have wounds? Like when we say he's tortured?
Irrelevant.
Let's not ask questions.
Well, give him.
How many days does he get off? He's been robbed. He's been abused.
Tortured, kidnapped, robbed, trust defiled.
Mm-hmm.
How many days?
I want to give him 2 weeks.
Okay. Because?
Especially if he's got wounds on him, I want to let him heal up. You know what I mean? Like if he's got some bruising on his face, things
Bruising's
like that.
3 days.
Bruising isn't going to cause anybody else at work to get, some kind of infectious disease if he has one.
No, that's true. I'll stick with
2 weeks. Okay, Gimpy.
Good Lord, that's a lot of 2 days. 2 days. That happened on a Friday. You get Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you Monday and Tuesday. You bring your ass back to work on Wednesday. And if you've got gashes all over yourself, put some goddamn butterfly stitches on that thing and get your ass back to work.
Take as long as you need. You're damaged goods now. If I get you back, you're hardly going to be the person. Whether you get 2 weeks or you're back on Monday, it's going to take a week for you to quell the office chatter.
Right.
So you're damaged goods. You're not coming back the same person.
Oh, no.
You're not going to remember whatever project you were working on. Forget about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll do the right thing. Take as long as you want, but let's start hiring the replacement.
Oh, okay.
He's done.
Okay.
You're done.
What if he comes back from work, right, after his week, 2 weeks, however long he needs, and things are a little shaky there for, let's just say, like a week? That seems natural. But everything's back to normal that week after. Are you still firing that guy?
I didn't say fire.
Well, what are you going to do? How else are you going to get rid? You going to lay him off?
You let life work itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Let him quit?
Yeah, he'll quit on his own.
Maybe.
You still give him work. You still treat him as if he's an employee.
Absolutely.
Everything stays the same.
Absolutely.
But he is not the same employee, right? He experienced an incredibly traumatic event.
Yes. And maybe working where he works, doing what he does is his outlet to kind of get over things. You know what I'm saying? Like this
ain't your team lost. This isn't you broke your arm. It is one of the most traumatic events human beings can go through is being kidnapped and tortured.
That is very true. That is very
true.
Mr.
No days.
But everybody works through things differently.
Sure.
Some people need therapy.
Sure.
Some people just need to keep busy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So maybe so what you're gonna do is you're gonna let this cat go so he can drive himself crazy.
I'm not gonna let him go.
All right. Go down the meth aisle with his new girlfriend Megan. All right.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's committed suicide and hung himself in the garage because I
don't know what that has to do with me. No, that has zero to do with me. I'm saying good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text to BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listener emails, you can always email us, show@KMOD.com. This email says, I work in a kitchen, and full disclosure, I'm a big guy. And bragger. And I'm the only Caucasian in the kitchen. I hear words said that I don't know because I don't speak their language. I decided to look up the words they were calling me, and they are calling me fat.
El gordo loco.
It doesn't seem right for them to call me that. Do I just go to the boss and say that they're calling me fat? Feels like I might be whining.
That's funny.
Pussy.
Is he sure that they're talking about him?
How do you know if they're not?
I mean, they're just going to deny probably if he does, right? I mean,
No, you're right. They may be
yeah.
going, that dish you put together is fat.
Right. There you go.
P-H-A-T.
Uh-huh.
I don't know Spanish language enough to know if that's how you would also say the PH version of that. I could be wrong. I have worked in kitchens. They can be quite fraternal, right? Very like, oh, hey, you guy.
Right. Just razzing each other, having a good time. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Till you get a broomstick.
Yeah. Yeah. It does feel there's some self-consciousness happening here.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Because, right, like Lindsay's point, just because you hear it, you can't speak the language, you don't know the whole sentence. That could be happening, sure. They could also be calling you fat. Yeah.
That's
I'm trying to think. I've never went and looked up a word because they were calling me, like I heard the word repeated a lot. I know enough words in Spanish that are not okay words to when I hear it, I can cue in on it pretty quick.
right.
Right.
Right. You're like, okay, yeah, I know what that means, sort of.
But I don't need. I hear that. My mom was like, wait a minute.
Did you say Ben Taco?
One time I was with somebody who worked here, and she looks very gringo. And we were walking for a sales call, and we walked past some construction. I don't know, somebody, they were working or doing something. And they were being very loud, and I didn't know what they were saying. And we get to the door, and she turns around, and I didn't know she could speak fluent Spanish. And she could. And she lit them up.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
I've never been so turned on. And on a sales call.
Yeah.
I was like, I even said, I'm like, that was hot. She was like, they're just being over the top. She's like, it's not uncommon to hear people talk like that, but it was just enough. Because I told him, you don't know who I am. You didn't know I could speak. It's a good way to get in trouble.
Right.
It's excellent.
Yeah, it was awesome. Because it was so like she'd been speaking Spanish her whole life.
Right.
And just, it was awesome.
When all it was Rosetta Stone.
Right. Duolingo, man.
Right.
Banos.
Right. Hola, que paso, mi amigo.
We had some people working at the house, and I forget the word that I said, and because I know a little bit, and so I said something, and he started to someone else, and another worker started laughing. And I just turned to him, and I was like, why are you laughing? Because first of all, I knew what I was doing, right? I knew I wasn't hitting it right. And so I said, what do you do? Are you laughing at me? And he's like, hey, you're trying. Like he spoke like crystal clear English, but also perfect Spanish.
Right.
And so he was like, hey. You're trying, which is more than a lot of people do.
Right.
He's like, you just totally mutilated it. And the guy was like, I don't know. Like he looked at me like, huh? So yeah, you don't know.
You don't. Says text says learn a new language, and then he can tell them to cut that S out. Of course, there's another one that says you sound like a bitch.
Yeah. I don't know if you sound like a bitch. Why is standing up for yourself in today's environment make you a bitch?
Yeah.
Because we were taught growing up to just take it.
Sticks and
to
stones.
take it, sticks and stones, you know.
No, I was
they're
taught
just
stand up for
words.
yourself.
They're just words.
You
Stop
weren't taught
being a
to stand up.
pussy.
You weren't taught to stand up for yourself.
Oh, yeah, defend yourself. Somebody comes after you and wants to harm you. Yeah, go for it. Somebody's going to call you a name. Suck it up and get over it. They're just words, bro. They're just words.
Reasonable answer. Learn just enough of the language to let them know it makes you uncomfortable. Nuclear answer. Welcome to the Terror Dome. Fatty McFatterson. Own it up or suck it up. Just like you did that plate of wings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like that will stop it. Either get over it and consider the source, quit, or lose weight.
Hey, fatty.
Another one, gordo in Spanish, calling someone gordo doesn't necessarily mean a negative comment. It worked with a Mexican whose nickname is Gordo, has been since he was a child. What are you talking about? Someone else who's called that?
Yeah.
Hey, I know this kid. He was called Gimpy. He didn't seem to mind, so I can call everybody that.
Right.
He was fine with it. Why can't you be?
Why not? Just words.
Yeah, but people get bothered by words.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sticks and stones may break all that stuff, but it's true. Words bother people.
Yeah, absolutely they do.
Right? You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. It's just words.
Mm-hmm.
You are absolutely right. But when it comes to being called fat or being called gimpy or hey honky or whatever it is, they're just words. You are actually the one that's choosing to be offended by it. You are the one that's taking the moment, the energy to be offended by it. They're just saying the words. You are the one who's like, oh man, I am choosing to let this word, these series of letters put together to bother me.
Yeah, but isn't that gaslighting a bit? Isn't that like, hey, it's not my fault that word bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault. And we'll just use gimpy. It's probably the most okay word we can say.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, you know, my mom was a gimp for 20 years and died of it. Like, it means a lot to, I'm just saying that like, you don't know what the word means to somebody and how it resonates with them.
Absolutely. But again, you are choosing the person that is getting offended is choosing to be offended. And when you say, isn't that gaslighting? Well, I can return back and say, isn't it gaslighting to gaslight me to say that we're gaslighting each other?
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
No.
It's just a big circle, man. And it's okay.
Listener email from a guy who works in a kitchen. Full disclosure, I'm a big guy. And I'm the only Caucasian in the kitchen. I hear words said that I don't know because I don't speak their language. Well, I decided to look it up, and they're calling me fat. It doesn't seem right for them to call me fat. Do I just go to the boss and say they are calling me fat? Feels like I might be whining. Lindsay.
I don't think that he needs to go to the boss. I think he should just take it up with his coworkers. I mean, I'm sure that they speak English too.
Or they don't.
Maybe.
One of my favorite stories about visiting France is I went in to order coffee and I tried, like I wasn't good. And I'm like, do you speak English? And she was like, nah. So I tried to stumble through it. And about 5 minutes later, she goes, oh God, what do you want?
You speak English now, don't you, B?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes it's out of like, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. If it's really bothering him, someone in that kitchen knows some English. He's got to find the one that does. And let them know that it's bothering them, or learn their language and speak it to him. Let him know that he's being bothered, and just pick your battles, bro. Yeah, I don't think he needs to be a tattletale though. I'm done.
Okay, Gimpy.
He said something in that kind of hits it right there. I feel like it's kind of whining. I feel like I'm whining, right? Is that how the line went?
Yeah.
If you feel like something, the chances are you already know you are, and you know there's no sense. So if I feel like I'm going to the boss and I'm telling, hey, these Mexicans back here calling me fat and I don't like it, you know you're whining, and you know that you should just deal with it and go on with the business. That right there can happen at any job, anywhere. Doesn't matter if it's in the kitchen or if you're on a construction crew or whatever. People are going to talk about you. What you should do is not worry about it And if you do your job and you do it right, then you'll be just fine because you're focusing on the wrong thing here, homie. You're letting words offend you for one, okay? And you're letting that get to you to where it's affecting your performance at your job. So why don't you just let it like water on a frog's ass, man? Just let it roll right off. You put your head down and go to work, collect your check, and enjoy your day.
You have a right to stand up for yourself. Whether you're complicit in being offended by the words or not is a separate conversation. But if you don't want to be called fat and you want to work in an environment where they're not called fat, you have a right to do that. Doesn't mean everything's going to be great after that. Doesn't mean you're not going to create a different set of problems. Now, with that being said, I do agree that if they're not calling you fat, they're going to call you something else.
Mm-hmm.
Pussy.
And that's also not okay.
Right.
Right? And as I said this quote, I think we talked about it off the air. I heard it last week, and it was Margaret Thatcher said that if I could walk on water, my critics would say it's because I can't swim. They're going to find something. So especially if you're going to work in a kitchen, I think you got to get some calluses.
Right.
In a kitchen for sure. There's just some environments that are tough to work in. That doesn't mean you should allow it if that's not what you want. I'm not condoning it. But there are some environments that are just that way. And if you don't like it, you are definitely empowered to stand up for yourself, and there are avenues you can take. But understand it doesn't solve the problem. It's not just going to be great after that. That's tough, man. I can't believe it's the first time you've been called fat, though. And surely you own a mirror.
What? No, man.
Right? Surely you know. People that are fat know they're fat. They don't need people to tell them or call them that. But there's some reason it's bothering you. Do you think they weren't aware?
Mm-hmm.
That's tough, man. That sounds like you're having an issue that you need to figure out how to digest. But with that being said, if you don't want to be called fat at work by anybody, you should totally say something. And if they call you pussy or they call you a whiner, okay.
Boss, they call me fat again, and they call me a whiner.
All right. If you ever need help, you can email us, show@kmod.com.
Tulsa's morning show.
Wife has friends that she works with, and we go to dinners with them or whatever, and they talk about work. And I always set a little thing on my watch, and about 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay.
Like trying to get out of the conversation or change the conversation?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
We're not talking about work anymore.
Yeah. I get that.
Do not bring it up at all if your husband or wife does poop research.
No.
Not a fun dinner.
No, because that's where everybody gathers around the table and talks about their day and how it was. And yeah, you can't do that if you're a poop expert.
Lindsay, do you have friends that do like plumbing or drywall work?
Yeah.
And when you need plumbing or drywall work, you call them, right?
Of course. Of course.
Do not call him about our poop, please.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
You're an expert in the poops, huh?
Honey, my tum-tum isn't right. Call Jim.
Right.
I'm not calling Jim again. He does not want to hear about my poop problems.
Sure he does. He deals with it every day.
That's the conversation you have with people that do drywall, electrical work,
they're professionals.
Car repair. He does it every day. He does not mind. Y'all had a show some time ago about well-endowed men who have trouble with the dating scene because of their genetic disposition. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to catch the whole show. Well, I'm not sure how to ask this, but are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversations. What are my choices?
What is going on here? Are they trying to get us to hook them up with a big dong man or what?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Okay.
Right?
Is this person trying to get us to hook them up with somebody with a huge schlong? I don't know. Yeah.
It's conversations like this that create an illusion that every woman wants a gigantic dong. Vaginas are all different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some, that's terrifying.
Right.
Some, that sounds exciting.
Right. Some, that's not even big enough.
Yeah. I have never thought if there is a website for women to go to find men that are well endowed. Now that we've said it aloud, I'm sure there's one.
Well, there has to be. They've got one for farmers, Christian singles.
Sure.
Why can't they have one? It's
Spoiler, those are all the same databases.
what?
Yeah.
Big dong dating.
And I'm sure there's one for this, but do like guys who like bolt-ons,
right?
Breasts, is there a website for fake boobs, like only dating girls with fake breasts?
I feel like there probably is, but also I feel like that might be something in a profile, like on a dating app, like a question, like, do you prefer real or fake boobs? Or, you know what I mean?
I would know. I've never filled any one of those
either.
out, but that doesn't, you fill that out on a dating app. I don't take a lot of credibility with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on a site as looking for a partner and the website is fakeboobsforyou.com, then you better have big old bolt-ons, right? Same way for girls looking for guys with well-endowed junk.
Yeah.
If that's on, like, every guy's going to put that in his profile.
Right.
But if you're on a website of Tubuku, you better be.
Right.
I don't go to the chicken restaurant and order a hamburger.
Yeah. Do you have to upload measurements to be on these websites?
If they exist, I don't even know.
Right.
So far, I just simply Googled website for men who want to only date women with fake breasts. That seems pretty simple and plain Jane, right?
Okay.
Haven't found anything yet. Haven't found anything yet. A lot of, these are the 28 best things to know before getting a boob job, or the 10 best dating apps, blah, 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 blah. But nothing in here, fakeboobsonly.com.
Okay, I Googled double D dating website.
Was double spelled out, or you just put two big D's on there?
No, I wrote double D dating website, and there isn't one. One does not come up.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that there are websites that get that specific.
Yeah. On our trademark. On our trademark.
Yeah, absolutely, there needs to be.
People are vain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So my whole thing, if that was my company, is that you would have to do that across the board. So if you're going to have, doubleddating.com, then you got to have, tubuku.com.
Right. 9 inches or more.com.
Yeah. If whatever that is.
It is, yeah. I'm almost afraid to type that in.
Just like people are into feet. Like there should be a website that if you want to date someone who loves dealing with feet as a woman and you're comfortable, like there are people that's that rowboat has 2 oars,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What did you find?
Is there one?
Fatu. It says foot fetish dating platform. Feet worship and femdom chat. Fetish sex dating, the online kink community.
I mean,
there's. I was just looking for dating sites about foot fetishes.
I guess that'd be a subgenre of BDSM, right? So
yeah. Yeah, sure.
Two of men's college basketball's premier programs are scheduling a future home and home series. Kansas and North Carolina are set to go head-to-head in a 2-game home and home series that begins in 2024. The Jayhawks will host the Tar Heels for their first meeting on November 8th, 2024. The following season, UNC will welcome Kansas to Chapel Hill for a contest on November 14th, 2025. The all-time head-to-head series between the two Blue Bloods is tied 6-6. Kansas head coach Bill Self described the future matchups as being two great games from programs whose rich histories are intertwined so much. Buffalo Bills running back Nyheim Hines is expected to miss the entire 2023 season due to an injury that was suffered off the field, and some new details about the incident have emerged. Hines suffered a significant knee injury in a jet ski accident. The 26-year-old was sitting stationary on his jet ski when he was struck by another rider. Hines sustained serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The exact timeline for recovery is unclear, but the Bills will be without Hines this season. They acquired Hines in a trade with the Colts at the deadline last season. Josh Allen was immediately impressed by his new teammates' explosiveness in practice. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 96 calories. More of the Big Man Morning. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I hope so.
Offer to pick up your friend's kids at school where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it. All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self. All right? Go find somebody and ask them if they got a big schlonger. And if the answer's yes, then okay, well, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself, but then there you got your answer. But I don't know. I have never searched for a guy with a huge schlong. I have no desire to search for a guy with a huge schlong. Now I'm out. I have no advice for you.
If you asked me where to find information on molecular science, I wouldn't be able to help you. Nor am I a resource for this. I'm just making an assumption. You might be focusing on the wrong thing.
Eyes up here, lady.
Yeah.
Right? If your objective's just to get that, go to the bar and ask guys.
Absolutely.
They will gladly tell you. And be ready to call them out on it. Because every guy is going to say they're a horse. That the Jolly Green Giant ain't got nothing on them.
When I had first pierced mine way back when I was in high school, you're proud of it. And I was talking to this gal, Amber, I think is what her name was. And I was telling her about it. Oh, yeah, penis is pierced, did it myself, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's sit. Okay. So I had no choice but to present myself to her. Oh, it just goes to prove his point. You're going to have to be prepared for them to, whip it out.
Yeah. You're going to have to be very assertive. Did you end up sleeping with her?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Why you say that?
I asked for the dessert tray. I'm getting dessert.
Not if it's ugly.
I don't know anything about that. 3 charged in kidnapping extortion plot. 3 people have been arrested after torturing a man in a hotel room in Tennessee. It happened on the 21st of this month when police say 25-year-old Jessica Mortensen lured a 25-year-old man to a hotel room. Inside the room, 41-year-old Harry Kingham and 37-year-old Joshua Frazier forced the victim to remove his clothes, then held him at gunpoint while taking him to the bank to withdraw thousands of dollars. The victim was then thrown out of the car in his driveway.
Oh, damn.
All 3 suspects then returned to the hotel where the incident happened. Where police found them.
Yeah, and you never go back to the scene. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
There's a drug involved, Lindsay. Can you guess what drug is involved?
Meth.
Yes.
Nothing good comes out of methamphetamine.
Nope.
Yeah, and apparently he made an arrangement because he knew this girl from high school,
Mhm.
and he made an arrangement for sex for $300, and the police were like, we're not charging him with solicitation. He's the victim here.
Mhm.
Even though he was participating in a crime, they knew he would fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly took advantage of him for hours
Yeah.
and made him give up his information, so he's not getting charged with. So I don't know if maybe he was somebody of some sort of brain disorder or
Okay.
on the spectrum or something that made him, according to the news report, gullible.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe just one of those lonely dudes, and this was the hot chick in high school. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Megan wants me now?
Yeah.
Well, Megan's, 45 right now and has got 6 kids and a drinking problem, but
meth problem.
a meth problem. And, but it's okay because he remembers teenage Megan. And he's like, well, I'm going to get me some of that.
Yeah.
Finally, I get to touch my unicorn. And, well, they left you naked in your driveway.
Yeah.
On the upside of that, at least they dumped him in his driveway and not, I don't know, traveling down the highway.
The police report said they threw him out of the car in his driveway with like a bag of garbage. That's what the report said.
Like a bag of garbage or with a bag of
Like
garbage?
a bag of garbage.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he's alive and he is at his house.
All right. The proverbial question.
Uh-huh.
How many days off does he get after being kidnapped, tortured, thrown in his driveway like a bag of garbage? How many days off do you get from something like that? These are bonus days. You're not using vacation or sick days.
We're just going to go ahead and give you some time off to recoup.
Yeah, we as a company empathize with that crazy situation.
Mm-hmm.
You get some days off to recover. That happened on a Friday, the 21st of last Friday. Lindsay.
So, does he have wounds? Like when we say he's tortured?
Irrelevant.
Let's not ask questions.
Well, give him.
How many days does he get off? He's been robbed. He's been abused.
Tortured, kidnapped, robbed, trust defiled.
Mm-hmm.
How many days?
I want to give him 2 weeks.
Okay. Because?
Especially if he's got wounds on him, I want to let him heal up. You know what I mean? Like if he's got some bruising on his face, things
Bruising's
like that.
3 days.
Bruising isn't going to cause anybody else at work to get, some kind of infectious disease if he has one.
No, that's true. I'll stick with
2 weeks. Okay, gimpy.
Good Lord, that's a lot of 2 days. 2 days. That happened on a Friday. You get Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you Monday and Tuesday. You bring your ass back to work on Wednesday. And if you've got gashes all over yourself, put some goddamn butterfly stitches on that thing and get your ass back to work.
Take as long as you need. You're damaged goods now. If I get you back, you're hardly going to be the person. Whether you get 2 weeks or you're back on Monday, it's going to take a week for you to quell the office chatter.
Right.
So you're damaged goods. You're not coming back the same person.
Oh, no.
You're not going to remember whatever project you were working on. Forget about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll do the right thing. Take as long as you want, but let's start hiring the replacement.
Oh, okay.
He's done.
Okay.
You're done.
What if he comes back from work, right, after his week, 2 weeks, however long he needs, and things are a little shaky there for, let's just say, like a week? That seems natural. But everything's back to normal that week after. Are you still firing that guy?
I didn't say fire.
Well, what are you going to do? How else are you going to get rid? You going to lay him off?
You let life work itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Let him quit?
Yeah, he'll quit on his own.
Maybe.
You still give him work. You still treat him as if he's an employee.
Absolutely.
Everything stays the same.
Absolutely.
But he is not the same employee, right? He experienced an incredibly traumatic event.
Yes. And maybe working where he works, doing what he does is his outlet to kind of get over things. You know what I'm saying? Like
This
sometimes
ain't your team lost. This
Right.
isn't. You broke your arm.
Yeah, you were.
It is one of the most traumatic events human beings can go through is being kidnapped and tortured.
That is very true. That is very
Mr.
true.
Mr. No Days.
But everybody works through things differently.
Sure.
Some people need therapy. Some
Sure.
people just need to keep busy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So maybe so what you're going to do is you're going to let this cat go so he can drive himself crazy.
I'm not
Start
gonna let him go.
drinking. All right. Go down the meth aisle with his new girlfriend, Megan. All right.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's committed suicide and hung himself in the garage because you.
I don't know what that has to do with me.
would
People, no, that has zero to do with me. I'm saying I have a responsibility as a company to make sure everybody's doing their job. And he can come back. We'll treat him as family. He'll stay on insurance. We'll give him projects. Everything will stay the same. But to have the expectation that he's going to be the same employee is not realistic. And that is what I'm saying.
I understand there's going to be some differences, but deep down inside, if that's what he needs to heal, then you keep on keeping on. I'm not hiring. I'm not looking for the new hire immediately.
He is going to be a drip at the company picnic.
Oh, yeah.
Do not ask him to play laser tag or just tag or capture the flag.
Don't even say the word capture around him.
Don't do the ropes course with him.
Right.
Trust fall. The Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Hello there, Corbin, and happy 28th porn star birthday to Miss Nirvana Lust. You can see this big beauty, babe, in anything for an education. Big bone, too. Heavy hitters and office hoe for show. She's won 8 awards and was the 2020 Big Beautiful Woman Performer of the Year. She's kind of got Lizzo vibes going on.
What does that mean? She's black or she's fat?
She looks like Lizzo.
Or she's a singer?
She resembles Lizzo. If you look at her.
What's her name again?
Nirvana Lust.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. If you want to go see the Royals take on the Yanks, just hit up the website that rocks KMOD.com. Look for the Roadie with the Royals tab.
Time for To Tell the Truth.
Oh, God. Sorry, I looked up.
Time for To Tell the Truth. Let's go ahead and get started with this week's.
Time to tell the truth. This is your opportunity to ask anything you want. Just remember, keep it clean. No bodily fluids, nothing sexual, and don't forget, we can and will pass on a question. Let's open up the phone lines. Here's Corbin and the gang with all the truth you're going to need.
918-460-KMOD. You could also text if you wanted, BMMS and whatever that is, to 82945. Any question, get to know us better. When I have to get us started, what's the longest you've gone without sleep? The longest you've gone without sleep. Now, some people will say, I get up really early, but they just move to the couch and fall asleep again. That doesn't count. So you can't be like, I napped in between feedings. That's not going without sleep. This is staying up nonstop.
Yeah. I think for me it was 72 hours.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
Say more.
Oh, hell.
Say more.
Well, it was a few times. Once, pregnant with Marcus. I was so swollen and I could not sleep. And I was like, I remember going into the doctor. I'm like, I haven't slept in 3 days.
Wow.
Because I was so swollen, so uncomfortable, and I was zombified. And I said, I need to be induced. Like, let's do this. And I was full term anyway, so I just could not hold it together any longer. And then once was for, we did a roof sit, and in one of the markets I worked at, where we lived on top of a grocery store for a week. And we slept up there, but the first time I had ever done it, I couldn't sleep up there. I didn't have...
So you did sleep or didn't sleep?
I didn't sleep the first time we had done it. After a few years, I got used to it, but the first time I could not rest up there. There's always people coming and going and checking
on the roof.
You. Yes.
Air conditioning people, roofers,
Yes.
seagulls.
Right.
Gimpy, what about you?
5 days.
5 days. Say more.
5 days, drug induced.
Yeah. Kept me up 5 days. And on that 5th day, I was done. Let's see, was it the 4th day or the 5th day that my bird died? It was the 5th day. I had a room, I had an apartment, roommates, roommate had a cat, I had a bird, off tweaking somewhere, came back. My roommate's cat was in my room and had gotten a hold of my bird. And, oh man, when you're at that end, that 5-day end, you've been up for so long, everything is just like amplified times 1,000, right? So I totally lost my S right there. And I watched my bird. It was, I caught it, and I put it back in its cage, and I watched old Spike wobble back and forth and then just fall straight to the bottom of the cage, dead. And I lost it. And I said, you know what? I think it's time to go to bed.
I think for like 40 hours, 48 hours.
Okay.
Is the longest I've been up. 28-hour toy drive, done that. There were times where stay up the whole time and then do stuff the next day.
Oof. That's always fun.
But that's the only thing that sticks in my brain. No drug induced, no on top of a building for a whole, that sounds so stupid. Not sure if this was already discussed, but can we get an update on Gimpy and Lindsay's faces? Okay, so for those who don't know, Lindsay had a procedure done, and Gimpy lost a tooth. So tomorrow will be 5 days. Today's the 5th day, tomorrow's 6th day, Thursday, the 7th day since we found out about it.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
So I had my sutures and my staples out last Thursday from having the eyebrow lift, and I feel great. I just wish the bruises would clear up, and they will eventually. Maybe another week or so. I have to apply pressure and some heat, which I have to do in the evenings, but no pain anymore whatsoever. And I only felt pain the first couple of days, but I'm so glad that I did it. Dr. Lee Bottom only specializes in faces and facial procedures. So I felt most comfortable going to him. I did not want to do the Botox in the forehead because I was told, don't do it. So I decided to go with an eyebrow lift to put them back onto the eyebrow bone and get rid of the lines in my forehead that I was hating so very much. So those are gone. And now once these bruises under my eyes go away, I'll be happier than a pig in mud.
We won't know it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Were you not able to wash your face when you showered, like right after surgery, and for how long?
I could.
Oh, okay.
I could, yeah.
Just had to kind of clean around all the stitches and staples and stuff.
It actually felt amazing when the water hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it did. It felt really good. Just that pressure, and anytime you clean a wound, it just felt really good. And it was scabbed over a little bit, so just to get that cleaned off felt good and refreshing.
Gimpy.
I was closing a bag of jerky. I had my hands full, so I put it in my mouth, had the jerky, and the jerky bag anyway, and went to go zip it shut with my hand, and weak tooth came right on out. Has anything changed? No, it's a tooth. I'm not rightly worried about it right now. I got other things that I need to focus on right now.
Have you called the dentist yet?
I just said no, nothing's changed. It's a tooth. I'm not rightly worried about it. I got other things I need to worry about right now.
If you were to project when you would
I couldn't
solve that, do you think you'll do it this year?
Probably. What, between now and December?
Yeah.
Chances are no.
What piece do you pick in Monopoly?
Trying to think of all the Monopoly pieces. There's the Scotty dog. And if someone takes that before me, I usually go with the thimble.
Gimpy?
Usually the car. Sometimes I like to play my Monopoly doggy style. So, yeah.
I'm not vested. Car. Whatever's left. I usually let everybody go, and then I pick because
that's how you get stuck with the iron.
Right.
Yeah, it literally plays no effect for me on that game. I can't even remember the last time I played that game. We don't own that game, so
Yeah, I got rid of our Monopoly game a while back because I cannot play with my husband.
because you get too angry.
Yes, absolutely. I will flip the board.
You will flip
I
the
will
board like
flip
a
the
like a
board.
child.
Yes. Just that game though. Just
Why?
Because he's very good at Monopoly and I am not.
And so
And
you flip the board because
Because he'll piss me off.
I'll
be doing so good and then boom, something will happen and then I'm like broke. And he rubs it in and I get mad. Yeah.
Getting fully dressed up, little black dress and suit date night. Steaks. Where are you all going in Tulsa? I need to make reservations for Saturday. Zoinks.
Wow.
Nice.
Good luck.
In the Raw Vu, downtown.
Okay. Gimpy?
Proximo all day, every day, man.
Yeah. Proximo. They just opened that new steakhouse down on Brookside called Chop House, Johnny's Chop House. Part of the McNelly's group, if I'm not mistaken. Prime. Boo is great. Yeah. But you better make a reservation.
Right.
Amelia's is good. Lowwoods is good. I don't know if they have, I think they have steak on the menu. Sometimes they do. But yeah. But I don't know if you should wear a dress and a suit. That might look weird.
Yeah, Lowwoods. I don't know if that's tie and black dress attire.
What?
Lowwoods?
Yes.
Is that little black dress and suit?
It's an Italian restaurant.
Is it? I thought it was more casual.
I don't know. I've never
It's
been
good,
to this
though.
place. I've never even heard of this place
It's a great place.
You would hate it.
because it's Italian.
Yeah.
Because it's nice.
Yeah.
It's fancy. You particularly don't usually love those places.
No, but there are times that I
True.
go out, you
Sure.
know, on special occasions and do go to these.
That's what I said.
types of
I said typically you don't.
Yeah. But I wouldn't go there because it's Italian, 100%.
What's each of yours favorite hobby, Lindsay?
Probably, if karaoke is considered a hobby, that's probably it. Singing
Gimpy?
karaoke.
Oh, riding my bike, playing disc golf, going to the lake. You got a lot of hobbies out there, I guess. Masturbating vigorously.
The amount of money you have to spend on that is damn near zero, though.
I know, right? That's why it's my favorite.
Probably jujitsu, martial arts stuff. What personal characteristic in other people do you absolutely hate?
Liars.
Like Santa's real?
No.
So some liars you're okay
Like-
with.
No, like just lying in general, like just always caught in a lie or the one-uppers.
But like the one-uppers of like, no, you're pretty. No, those jeans don't look fat.
No, like if let's say you're talking about something that just wonderful that just happened to you or your family, and then they're like, oh, well, we did this. And
So one-uppers are liars.
Yeah.
That's different than liars.
I don't like either one of those traits.
Okay. All right, Gimpy.
Oh, man, I hate a thief. Man, somebody's going to come and steal your hard-earned stuff. Get out of here. Get bent.
What personal characteristic in other people do you absolutely hate? I'm going to go with greed.
Okay.
We did hobby. Sputter, excellent steaks. I would say sputter is way too casual.
Okay.
I still haven't been there.
It's fine. It is. I don't think it's anything. People get wrapped up in it's a Tulsa tradition thing, and it's
Right.
fine.
It's more like, we'll say like a Texas Roadhouse-esque type of place. Is that what you mean by too casual?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I've never been. I've heard good things, but I've never been.
It's to me, it's like Texas Roadhouse or Sputter. They're all pretty much the same. They're not gonna mess it up.
Right. Steak, potato, salad.
Yeah. moderately priced.
Right.
McGill's. Now, people say McGill's at the Hard Rock is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
McGill's also a Tulsa thing. The one down here is nice. I don't know if the one down by Utica Square is still open. That's in that basement. If playing leapfrog, are you the leap or the frog?
I'd probably be the leap because bending is tough on my back for being bent over like the frog.
I thought you have to be the frog at some point when you play leapfrog.
That's where I'm at because you alternate. Right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I haven't played since I was 7, so
I don't know if I've ever played leapfrog.
Yeah, I've never had this discussion with my wife, so I don't even know where she stands on it. Kids, religion,
Yeah.
right.
money, leapfrog. We never got to that. Huh.
I'll bring it up at the dinner table.
I'm going
Yeah.
to.
I don't think that was big on my playground in school.
No. Both.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Maybe we've got it misunderstood, Gibby.
Yeah, maybe so.
I like this one because I've seen this asked a lot. Where do you carry your phone when walking? Front pocket, back pocket, hand, or somewhere else?
All of the above. It depends on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a pair of jeans, back pocket. If I don't have pockets, it's in my purse. Sometimes it's just in my hand.
But you don't have like one you can land on as like overwhelmingly this is.
Overwhelmingly, it's probably in my purse.
Okay. Gimby?
Probably back pocket over any other one. Right, because I'll stick it in my front pocket, right? But I hate having my pockets bulked up like that.
Right, you don't want the view getting
that's right,
messed up.
Obscured. Absolutely. I don't need you looking at this giant square in my pocket. I need you looking a little bit closer to the left. Anyhow. So, yeah, I guess back pocket is just for ease of convenience. You just get up and you slide it right back there in your back pocket. And whenever you need it, you whip it out, handle your business, right back in the back.
I mean, back pocket makes sense. I get it. It does fit in there nicely. I'm always worried I'm going to break it.
I get you. You forget about it, sit down. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a right front pocket. Always.
Okay.
If I put it in my left, I'll go, where's my phone? I'm a creature habit that way.
So here's the real question here. When you have it in your pocket, how do you have it in your pocket? Is it just willy-nilly, however, or is there a certain way? For me, it's camera, because they're usually up the top, facing down into the pocket, so that way when I pull it out of the pocket, front pocket, back pocket, you lift it up. It's already, you don't have to flip it back around.
Wow. That's some real overthinking happening. I just put screen in, so screen against, and then
screen against end, but so it doesn't matter whether it has to
the
be
camera up or down. I don't know.
My camera's always up, and it's screen. If it's in my back pocket, it's screen against my butt, and the camera is up.
Huh.
Because if I sit on it, I think mentally, if I sit on it, I don't want the camera to break. I don't want to crack the camera.
I think you would break the screen, if anything, not so much.
Yeah, I would be more, me and my ass, I'd be worried about breaking it in half or something like that.
I just like the convenience of being able to pull it out and look straight at it without having to flip it back around.
And because of my understanding of how pickpocketing works, you can pickpocket something out of somebody's back pocket a lot easier than your front.
Yeah, that is true.
Makes sense.
I can bump into you and take something out of your back pocket. Back pocket.
Right.
Your front pocket, it's awkward for all of us.
Yeah.
At least ask me out first, bro.
Commit a crime without being caught and no one knows but you. What would it be, Lindsay?
Robbing a bank.
Okay, Gimpy?
Murder.
Really?
In the first degree, we all know who it would be.
Oh, okay. Oh, embezzlement all day.
Right.
Nobody
Embezzlement
gets
all
hurt.
day. I mean, corporations get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Robbing a bank, I could be scaring somebody or intimidating them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do that.
What if it's after hours? No one's there.
Breaking and entering and robbing a bank. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to pick one, though.
2 birds, 1 stone.
What's your first car and how much did you pay for it, Lindsay?
It was a Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. I believe it was in 1990 or 91. It was white. Paid $5,000 for it. It's a boat.
Gimpy.
1986 Buick Century, paid $75 for it. Was originally supposed to pay $150 for it, but somebody tried to pop the collar and steal it. So my Uncle Joe was like, hey, I'll give it to you for the $75 you already give me, or I'll give you your money back. I said, give me them keys, bitch. And then we went down and got a new steering column, put it in that day. Boom, first car, done.
First car I paid for, because my dad and I shared a car. So the first car I got was a 86 Chevy Cavalier.
Nice.
7,500, I think. No, 3,500.
Say that's quite a bit for Cavalier.
Yeah, it had 40,000 miles on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Drove that car to 120,000. Yeah. People tell you I put my phone in my front pocket. Okay, yeah. Let's go down a rabbit hole. We got to take a break, and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show, the Big Mad Morning Show.
So I would say maybe join a matchmaker. Ask a matchmaker to help you out. I feel like that would be something that would be on a matchmaking site.
Right, but don't you think there's room for fibbing on that?
Yeah, definitely.
You get to embellish a lot on those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Picture of you and a dog, and they're like, oh, where's your dog? I don't have a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a picture of you on your dating profile. Yeah.
About that. That was my friend's dog, and I
Yeah.
thought it would just,
It's a great picture of him.
bring you in.
They do say that people with dogs in their profile pictures
Totally.
get lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are two ways to pick up women, in my opinion. A dog in a park.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I hope so.
Offer
Yeah.
to pick up your friend's kids at school where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it. All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self. All right? Go find somebody and ask them if they got a big schlonger. And if the answer's yes, then okay, well, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself, but then there you got your answer. But I don't know. I have never searched for a guy with a huge schlong. I have no desire to search for a guy with a huge schlong. Now I'm out. I have no advice for you.
If you asked me where to find information on molecular science, I wouldn't be able to help you. Nor am I a resource for this. I'm just making an assumption. You might be focusing on the wrong thing.
Eyes up here, lady.
Yeah.
Right? If your objective's just to get that, go to the bar and ask guys.
Absolutely.
They will gladly tell you. And be ready to call them out on it. Because every guy is going to say they're a horse. That the Jolly Green Giant ain't got nothing on them.
When I had first pierced mine way back when I was in high school, you know, you're proud of it. And I was talking to this gal, Amber, I think is what her name was. And I was telling her about it. Oh, yeah, penis is pierced, did it myself, blah, blah, blah. Now let's sit. Okay. So I had no choice but to present myself to her. Oh, it just goes to prove his point. You're going to have to be prepared for them to, you know, whip it out.
Yeah. You're going to have to be very assertive. Did you end up sleeping with her?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Why you say that?
I asked for the dessert tray. I'm getting dessert.
Not if it's ugly.
I don't know anything about that.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a
What?
headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See,
Mhm.
that was
That
that's-
was a good headline.
You told me you
Kill
just
and
pointed out a missed opportunity, and I was like, well, I got one too. So I just
Yeah.
changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days. All right. Well, for a couple of days, because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay. So they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused her daughter, who is 44 years old, Candace Craig, of credit card fraud. So that led to an argument betwixt Margaret and Candace, which led to Margaret's death. Okay. So flash forward a little bit. They say that the 19-year-old daughter of Candace, a woman named Celia Hardy, found the body of Margaret in a plastic bin and then decided to help dismember and dispose of the body. They believe that the 2 women used a chainsaw to cut Granny's body up and then threw the body parts on a grill and a bonfire in attempts to burn and destroy the body parts. Either way, they searched the house. They say that the remains were so badly decomposed that you can't do a physical identification of the body. So they're hoping, and they're 98% sure that DNA testing is going to come back and say, yeah, this is definitely Margaret. Nonetheless, both women were arrested. Candace is being popped for murder, and then Celia has been arrested and being charged with accessory after the fact.
It's one thing to kill somebody, I think. I think it's a completely other to dismember them.
Yeah.
And another for it to be Meemaw.
Right. The human body contains a lot of blood, like more than I want to see at one point in time. So I feel as soon as you start hacking away with a chainsaw, that's just going to be a bloody mess everywhere.
It's like putting together a swing set in your backyard. You're like, I can do this. And then you get in, you're like, I'm going to need some help.
Right. So you call your kids to come help you put the swing set together.
Yeah. If you've ever put together a swing set in the last 5 years, it shows up and you're like, okay, yeah, I could do this. And then on day 2, you're like, we'll put that on later.
Right. Kids don't need a swing, do they?
Yeah.
Nah.
I think the monkey bar sat in my garage for a good year.
They're not going to be able to reach up there and grab it anyway.
Right, exactly. Do you think Mima was a bad person, abusive, maybe?
Are you justifying
have
it?
to be?
Are you implying that if she was, then she probably should be dismembered?
No. But would she have to be for it to be like...
You brought it up.
Okay.
You brought it up. You tell me.
Well, I look at Dexter, like the show Dexter. It was like he was almost like the good bad guy because he was taking out bad people.
No, Dexter was a horrible person.
Oh, see, I looked at him as a good bad guy. He was taking out bad people.
Like a Robin Hood sort of thing. But
Yes.
instead of robbing the rich and giving to the poor, we're just killing bad people.
Uh-huh.
Jack the Ripper is another one, killing the whores of the world.
Yes.
If you think that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dexter was not a good person.
I thought so. I thought he was good.
But he was hurting people. He was killing people for minor things, not huge infractions.
Some of them
bumped into me at the grocery
No.
store.
Yeah.
No.
Some of them,
No.
sure, but not all of them.
Oh, he wasn't doing it for bumping into me
How
at the grocery
dare you
store.
take the last bagel at work?
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mhm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay, so those are the 3 basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Yesterday, a really bizarre thing happened where if you've been following the story of this girl, Carly Russell, she made a phone call on the 13th at 9:30 at night saying that she had seen a toddler walking across the interstate. And so she then got on the phone with a family member and then lost contact with the family member. Police show up. The car's still there running. She can't be found. So they decided to do a missing persons. They started investigating all this. And law enforcement agencies obviously went all in. A reward was offered. They took donations for rewards. Like got up to like $63,000. And so they couldn't find her. But then, 2 days later, she just shows up at their home. And then she was taken to a hospital for evaluation. And then yesterday, her attorney releases a statement through the police chief in Hoover, Alabama, which is a suburb of Birmingham, and says this.
My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client
and then kept talking.
My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone during the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community. We're currently in discussions with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office in Bessemer about possible criminal charges related to this case, and we will announce those charges when and if they are filed. We wanted the focus to be bring her home. She got home. We're very excited about that. It is what it is. The facts, I think, last Wednesday pretty much showed that we knew that it was a hoax.
And they don't know where she was.
She just disappeared for a little while, wanted to get away from things.
Her boyfriend came forward and said, hey, I get it, but how about chill out?
So where's the crime? Is it filing a false report?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what the criminal charges would be. That's the only thing that I could think of.
That is not a common charge.
Filing a false report? Okay.
Yeah. And she could, or her family could have to reimburse for use of resources.
Okay.
Which they went all in, which they should.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if she should get, if she's got like mental thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But people went, lost their minds.
Well, yeah.
Because they were concerned. People in that community, obviously, neighbors helping neighbors scenario went all in, as they should. And for the lawyer to come forward, make a statement on her behalf.
Right.
That feels like a lot. That's admission of guilt.
Right. She knew what she was doing was wrong.
And you heard the police chief, he said, hey, we knew from the beginning that this wasn't adding up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a smart move on her end to have the lawyer do the talking, I think.
Well, it wasn't the lawyer. The lawyer gave a statement to the police chief to read from them.
Right.
I don't know if it's a good move at all.
I think so because, one, he knows the law. The lawyer does. So he could word the statement in a way that, won't incriminate her more than what she's already done. Make sense?
No, because I know plenty of lawyers that have no idea what the law is. Right?
Right.
Lawyers aren't supposed to know the law. Lawyers are supposed to get you out of trouble.
You gotta know something about the law.
The thing that I think may be happening is to avoid charges. Maybe they said if you say you didn't do it, maybe we're more likely to not file charges against you.
Okay.
Or not have to reimburse resources.
Okay.
I don't know. Should you get in trouble for that? Should you be punished for that? Should you serve any sort of time? Be fined? I mean, that's clearly a mental episode.
Yes. It's a mental episode. She needs a psych evaluation big time. And
what if she's already under psych care?
Right.
then if she's under psychiatric care, then she shouldn't be fined.
She shouldn't be punished or charged.
No,
Because
she is under care of someone, but someone.
you can be under care. That doesn't
yeah.
mean you follow the rules.
Right.
Right.
You can have plastic surgery, but that doesn't mean that you're going to do all the things to make
Right.
sure the repair or the surgery heals correctly.
Yeah, she committed a crime. She needs to be.
Yeah.
She needs to be punished in some form or the other.
And this was definitely premeditated because of her searches on her computer beforehand.
No, excellent point. She had looked up Taken.
The movie with
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah. How Amber Alerts work.
Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?
I think my argument that it was premeditated would be that not if she was in the mental episode.
Right.
Right. The mental episode wasn't when she dialed the phone call 911. The mental episode could have been ongoing. She could be on a medicine to help her with anxiety, depression, Ozempic, whatever.
Mhm.
Right.
And this was a result.
That's a good point.
But if she wasn't taking her medication at the time,
Or went off of it was
Yeah.
and then missed it. Sure.
Either way, you do the crime, you got to do the time. She doesn't need to spend 25 to life. No, that's a little excessive, but 90 days in jail and a hefty fine.
and she probably won't go to jail. She'll probably be put in a psychiatric ward, right, in a hospital.
I don't know.
Well, we don't know if she is actually mental or not.
I think that happens very rarely now. I think you see a lot of people go into prison that are having mental problems. For me, the idea that she should go to jail for it or even be fined seems a little odd. Because did she file a false police report? Absolutely. Happens a lot.
Yeah.
So why is this one? If anything, she should maybe get some community service.
Right.
To have to maybe work with missing and exploited sinners to help try to find people.
Right. But I mean, would that really deter it from anybody else doing it? The same thing? And that's why I say jail time, fine. I think your chances of somebody else doing and be like, ooh, that gal,
Yeah.
she spent 3 years, in jail, in prison or whatever, and she was fined $15,000. I'm just saying, throwing numbers out there. It might make another person who thinks that that's okay to do that sort of thing be like, ooh, I don't want to do that. As opposed to community service. I gotta go pick up trash on the side of the road. Okay.
Yeah, except my thought process is that would be some like a rehabilitation of understanding of the resources took away from people that are actually missing.
Exactly.
Right.
As opposed to deterrent, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't think that actually works. Right? We've been executing people in this country for how long, and people still murder people. So that type of thing doesn't work for the people that commit those crimes.
On the same side of yours, let's just go ahead and put her in one of these centers so she can see, what really happens with these people. Okay, do your community service, just check the box. You go in, you don't really learn anything. You're just like, I'm just here. I'm just here. I gotta pick up your trash.
Maybe.
I gotta, mop some floors.
Yeah, but at least there was an effort there.
Right.
You might be right. She probably won't, and most people probably wouldn't. But at least the effort's there rather than just, pay a fine and you're like, okay, go on my day.
Right.
You're not going to learn anything from that.
Right. No, but if it's a hefty enough fine and a hefty enough jail time.
Or not. There's plenty of people that don't play fines, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Plenty of people are not intimidated by a fine. We've had Jeff come on talking about people that go for not paying their child support, and then it's like $40,000, and they suddenly come up with it.
Right.
They don't then go, I learned my lesson. I'm going to keep paying.
Right.
Now, if she was doing this to get some sudden fame or a book deal or something, like she thought she was really going to get away with it, then I would say give her some jail time.
Somebody text. Go ahead.
I was going to probably reading the same one. She said she had a ticket to Nashville and admitted she did it after seeing a woman get a book and movie deals after her own abduction. She wanted that too.
I don't know of the story we're speaking of. I don't know of a woman that happened to.
Right. I don't either. But I could totally see somebody thinking that, like, hey, if I do this, I can become famous, internet famous. Okay. They'll have, I'll have my own Lifetime movie, and that'll take care of all the money problems that I'm having right now. I could totally see that happening.
And again, you'd be in a mental episode thinking that was going to be okay.
But what really is a mental episode? Just because it's not normal,
rational reasoning,
like you or me?
No. Rational reasoning.
Okay.
Knowing that there are people that are missing, and that's rational thinking.
Right.
Calling in a fake crime, not doing that would be rational.
Right.
Scaring your family, your boyfriend, all that would be rational to not do that.
Right. See, when I hear mental episodes, I'm thinking of throwing poop at the walls.
Right.
On the extreme side.
I don't think of, stuff like this as a mental episode. Deceiving, yes. Not right.
Yeah, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia can go undiagnosed or unknown from other people because it lurks in the normalcy.
Right.
So you're right. Like, mental episode can be throwing feces at the wall, but it also can be people that work every day that are bipolar.
Right.
Jekyll and Hyde, if you will, is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as extreme as the movie,
right?
But it's real. There's a show we're watching, Lindsay and I are watching, and in it, this girl's super sweet, and then the next minute, she's a complete bitch, like, gone. And you're like, what's going on with this toxic person?
Right.
Because a second ago, she was all like, twinkle, twinkle.
Mm-hmm.
So bipolarism can look quite normal to us.
Right. I guess I just don't know enough about it because I look at it as in, like, people have bad days, people get triggered, people do things, unrationally, just because, maybe not so much bipolar or schizophrenia or something like that. It's just either, something just trips and you're like, okay, that's not who they normally are now.
But that's what I'm saying is we accept it.
Right.
Rather than like, oh, they may be dealing with something.
Mm-hmm.
They may be having a mental problem.
Right. I don't know.
We got to take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show.
What's the reason for getting rid of it? She's just like, all right,
I think I've pushed the button enough.
Fine, we'll take it down. Why are you in such a bad mood?
People come over, or my girls will go, where are we eating dinner tonight? I'm like, just look for the sign.
Right? Tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I totally thought you were like, I have no idea why. I have no idea where we're gonna eat.
Right, because the sign says gather.
I love it.
And it's a play on like, hey, we're family.
I know.
Okay.
This is awesome.
Trying to help you. For your situational awareness. I don't.
No, seems like a lot.
Another one that is a button. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down is a move someone says to try and like establish alpha.
Right. Dominance.
Yeah.
Instead of peeing on their leg or whatever. Just calm down.
This line. I work hard. When I hear this line, I just laugh inside. Because if you have to announce you work hard, you don't.
A king that has to say he is king is no king.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
You are insecure in your hard work ethic that you must pronounce to the world that you do. When letting your actions should reflect that, right? I reject the premise of that question. If you said that to me, I'd probably laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here with that.
Gimpy and I laugh about this one all the time. If I were you,
you should just.
You should just as a variation of that.
Along the same lines.
You need to.
This is another one I love. Threat to our democracy.
Oh, good Lord.
Must be nice. Like, must be nice.
Oh, I was
must
thinking
be
of
nice.
Like, you must be nice.
No. Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are we there yet? It must have been when I got my white New Balance that I realized how annoying that phrase is.
Yes, absolutely.
Dad mode, man. I can't stand that. Are we there yet? You'll know. How will I know? When I park the car.
Right. And then you stop at the gas station to take a whiz, right? Because you've been on the road for 16 hours. Are we there yet? But you said we were there when you stopped the car. I got to piss. Shut up.
Annoying things people say. I'm the type of person.
Ugh.
Hear me out.
No.
Per my last email.
In other words, I ain't going to say it again.
No, meaning you didn't read it.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
Do your own research.
Lazy ass.
Because I said so? Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's a good dad answer right there. Well, why? Because I said so. That's why.
Right. But if you think about it, when you're trying to shape a young mind,
Mhm.
it gives no context. You don't learn from that.
And I'm so guilty of that.
Totally. Every parent is.
Absolutely.
It's an easy answer. If you're saying that, you're already frustrated.
Exactly. And I even read an article
Oh, good.
years ago saying why you shouldn't say that to your kids. And just like you said, because you're shaping a young mind, it gives them no real reason as to why they shouldn't do this or that. You should give them a reason
Right.
behind why you're saying no.
It's an interpretation, like a confrontation, rather than like, no, I just don't understand.
Right.
I'm only saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, I've said that before.
Yeah, me same.
I don't like drama.
Hell yeah. Everybody says that.
And yet, here we are.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Lie.
Yeah. It's only said by those people who create the drama or are involved in the drama. Just giving you a hard time.
That means I'm an asshole, and I notice that I've hurt your feelings, so therefore I've got to smooth things over. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. That's just how I was raised. I hate this statement.
Right.
Because you can't evolve. We can't evolve as people.
No.
You can't want to break the cycle that happened to you.
No.
I get it.
No. Those issues are deep rooted inside me.
Right. And therefore, everyone must be exposed to them.
Absolutely.
Because I was.
Mm-hmm.
3 charged in kidnapping extortion plot. 3 people have been arrested after torturing a man in a hotel room in Tennessee. It happened on the 21st of this month when police say 25-year-old Jessica Mortensen lured a 25-year-old man to a hotel room. Inside the room, 41-year-old Harry Kingham and 37-year-old Joshua Frazier forced the victim to remove his clothes, then held him at gunpoint while taking him to the bank to withdraw thousands of dollars. The victim was then thrown out of the car in his driveway.
Oh, damn.
All 3 suspects then returned to the hotel where the incident happened. Where police found them.
Yeah, and you never go back to the scene. Like, yeah, come on.
There's a drug involved, Lindsay. Can you guess what drug is involved?
Meth.
Yes.
Nothing good comes out of methamphetamine.
Nope.
Yeah, and apparently he made an arrangement because he knew this girl from high school, and he made an arrangement for sex for $300, and the police were like, we're not charging him with solicitation. He's the victim here.
Right.
Even though he was participating in a crime, they knew he would fall for it. They clearly took advantage of him for hours and made him give up his information, so he's not getting charged with. So I don't know if maybe he was somebody of some sort of brain disorder or. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Lindsay, what did you learn today?
I learned that Jack Blanky likes to do the hanky-panky with horses. And the real reason you aren't feeling the butterflies is because they're all dying and we're supposed to send them in if we find them.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
I learned that I can't wait for Beaver Week to start. I also learned that if you thought you couldn't feel the sex wearing a rubber condom, imagine doing it with a horn.
Oh my God, no.
I learned that the original Viagra was a tortoise shell. Because they're slow. And I learned when someone calls you fat, you should just ignore them. You're bigger than that. It's Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
How many days off does he get after being kidnapped, tortured, thrown in his driveway like a bag of garbage? How many days off do you get from something like that? These are bonus days. You're not using vacation or sick days.
We're just going to go ahead and give you some time off to recoup.
Yeah, we as a company empathize with that crazy situation. You get some days off to recover. That happened on a Friday, the 21st of last Friday. Lindsay.
So does he